quick thing before we do start off. Welcome to a little one-shot ran by our resident Martin, where we're playing Vampire the Masquerade. No, the Requiem.
The Requiem.
The Requiem. Vampire the Requiem. So I'll put that into the thing. There isn't a name for the game, but that's what's happening. Okay, you can carry on now. Danse Macabre. That's the one. Danse Macabre. Vampire Requiem.
The fuzzies have come back. Kill them, kill them.
Fuzzy. I heard the fuzzies. I don't know if it's me or not. Anyway, never mind. For everyone at home, the fuzzies are random mic interference. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Right, so if everyone is ready, everyone has their gubbins, I will begin by doing what I did last week, which is reading out the introduction. The raindrops glide across the green haze of the window. The verdant life of the highlands drifts by to the accompaniment of the droning engine and the steady drum of the typical Scottish weather upon the glass. You're in a minibus, commissioned to take you all to Apollyon Park, an exclusive holiday resort on Loch Barrow. It would be nice to think that the journey was comfortable, or just short, but it isn't, and the storm outside seems to dampen everyone's mood as much as it does the rolling landscape. You sit in a van, glancing round at your companions, who all look somewhat sullen. Would you care to describe yourselves to each other, please?
Sure. I'll start first then. Boris is basically looks kind of thuggish. He's wearing normal blue jeans, nothing particular about it. He also has boots on. You can't really decide if it's work boots or maybe just some normal army boots. Basically something you can run in, but also not get killed by. He generally just has a normal t-shirt on right now. Boris is from Russia, so Scotland is hot. And that's basically it. He also has just a normal jacket, black jacket in the somewhere in his trunk. Suitcase, and that's basically it. He also has a pair of leather gloves, but he has those for special occasions.
Jackson.
Okay, I am Jackson.
Just to go on my build a bit, just a second. He's basically just a normal height, short, really just sort of shaved head, like Jay right now, something like that. And
cheers, bro.
Also clean shaven. He doesn't have a beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Jackson is wearing a not particularly average is definitely the word that you would describe. There's nothing about him which looks out of the ordinary. The plain black T-shirt with I don't know if you've seen the T-shirt. It says it says body in brackets, and then on the top of it, and then slash body at the bottom of it. Is a little bit of a nerd joke. He's a little bit of a nerd. Fairly thick-rimmed, roundish glasses on the head. Hair is starting to thin slightly on the top. There's a little bit of a scraggly beard going on. Wearing a a thick sort of raincoat type dealie, because I'm used to the warmth of inside, and outside is all cold and miserable. Sat next to my wife, who has similar pair of glasses, quite longish, just short of shoulder length hair, sort of just arm around me, trying to keep me happy, and I'm just mumbling away. It's cold outside. Ugh. All these weirdos on the bus.
Gil?
Gil is generally about almost 6 foot tall. He's got, I pretty much did it myself today. It's has his hair slicked back. He looks like an 80s douchebag. He's got a plaid shirt on. He's got sweatpants. They're actually meant to be grey, but by the bottom they're more of a really dark grey, they've been worn a lot and stained and dirtied. He has one single earring, which is just a one metal stud on the right ear. I'm trying to think what else as well. He kind of walks with a forced swagger, and along the side he has a really thick beard that kind of goes from his hair just down to his chin, all around there, just to try to have that. He's got kind of a glazed look to his eyes all the time, he's not really paying attention, not really there. Kind of jumping a lot of the noises outside, and has one hand always on his left leg, just as it lightly shakes up and down. Can't think of what else. Like that's it. Oh yeah, and no glasses.
No
But I have to
glasses.
wear them because I'll be blind.
Henri.
Henri's about 6'2", with clearly very scruffy auburn hair. He's not really too interested in how he looks, but you can tell because he's got weak old stubble, with flecks of grey coming through it as well. But just a standard ginger beard that kind of matches up with his normal hair colour. He looks pretty casual, and everything seems to be quite dark on him. But it's like a dark cotton shirt. Looks like just a bit of pattern of checks coming through on it, with like what looks like a biker jacket on top of it. But it's just a standard, short cut jacket, basically heavy duty on it. Looks like it's good and sturdy. Very dark blue jeans, boot cut. Because they have to be, basically, just to fit the boots underneath. It's dark brown. They're like ex-military style boots that aren't quite the full way there, but meet it by halfway between there and hiking boots. So probably perfect for where he is right now, but it's not the kind of thing you'd see getting into a club.
Depends on the club.
Some
So,
strange clubs.
also sat in the van with you is Donald Reed. You recognise him vaguely from school. He has an unlit cigar clamped between his teeth pretty much consistently, and somewhat disturbingly between his legs, next to a very large looking duffel bag, is a full-on modern looking crossbow, which has never left his side the entire time you're there. It's got an expensive looking sight on top. He's got a bit of expensive jewellery on him, which would suggest that he's probably quite well off. But he's got an easy smile, and has actually spoken a couple of times during the journey. He's exchanged a word or two with Helen, Jackson's wife, and tried to pass a word or two with some of the others in the van, although none of you have really felt much like talking. Looking towards the front of the van, you can see the driver is a young woman, but she's had absolutely nothing to do with you, and is wearing quite a heavy-looking raincoat, and a hoodie is pulled up over her head. You can see that she's got quite straw blonde hair, but other than that, and the quiet sound of music you can hear from the front, you don't know much about her. The other presence in the van is Donald's son, Lee, who you have very much noticed. He's tall and skinny, unlike his father, who's quite short, dumpy, and just gives out a very good old boy type feeling. Lee, on the other hand, gives out a very different vibe. Black torn jeans, death metal t-shirt, sort of slumped in his chair, big boots with like metal things riveted through them. His belt looks an awful lot like a dog walking chain, and it looks as if the collar that used to belong to it now resides around his neck.
His gamer tag is XX Edgelord XX.
During the whole journey, he's never made eye contact with anybody, and the only reason you really know he's there is the tinny noise coming from his earbuds that obviously has something with far too much bass running through it. He looks up occasionally, uses to glower at his father, as he does something presumably embarrassing, which is just talk to the members of the party. Which is pretty much what he does now, as he looks up and, for a second time in the day, glances around the cabin. So, where y'all from? And his slight drawl tends to give you a suggestion of his own origins, or where he's spent the last few years. He looks in your direction, boys.
Russia. Mother Russia.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you from school. Yeah, well, good to see you. How's Russia treating you?
Good, bad. You know how life goes.
Yeah. Good. Huh. Jackson and your lovely wife Helen. I don't believe I've how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just eager to get where we are. Long bus rides and legs are cramping. And how are you? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm up here for a bit of hunting. Hopefully the rain won't, scare too many of the animals away.
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe it'll stop soon.
Yeah. And Lee
I'm gonna
just
go
sort of
back to book.
Lee tuts quite loudly and just sort of turns further away from his father as if to disown him. And Donald looks further down the van. How about you? Henry, was it?
Henri.
Henri, yeah. How have you been doing with yourself over the past few years?
Well, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, really, to be honest. It's I'd rather not go into it, to be fair. But you were saying that you're up here for hunting. What are you going to be hunting?
Oh, I hear there's some stags and some good big deer up in these hills. I'm hoping someone here knows something about it. I mean, it is quite an exclusive resort after all.
Right. Did you bring your own weapon for that, or are you just hoping that they'll have some up there when they get up?
Oh, no, sure did. I've got Betsy here, and you can obviously see he's handling it professionally. He picks it up and makes sure it's not aimed at anybody and shows you. His cigar changes side in his mouth as he grins at you. What do you think?
Aye, the ladies
Yeah.
must be very impressed with you.
These Brits don't so much like the firearms, but crossbows are good. Besides, I hear it's more natural or something.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Go natural.
You can see he's quite enthusiastic about this as he starts talking his way through some of the features, telling you about the scope and some of its range. Lee once again sighs and coughs loudly, to which Donald sort of glares at him a little and then turns back to you. But I'm sure you don't want to know about me. Helen speaks up and goes,
really.
"Don't worry, dear. We don't mind listening. There's nothing else to listen to in the van." Oh,
Boris just sort of nods and sort of goes, "Deal me goods too." And sort of
Yeah.
just continues on looking at the crossbow and the man talking.
yeah. Donald rambles on a little bit longer before he realises no one is really paying an awful lot of attention. And, Gil, was it? You said?
What? Oh,
I'm
Alright.
Don. Pleased to meet you.
aye, nice to meet you, man. Holding my hand. His hand is to shake mine.
Yeah, he has to lean back over one of the chairs, but gets up on his knees and shakes your hand, reaching awkwardly between Jackson and his wife.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Little cramps, but looking forward to it. It's quite exciting. Do you remember much about Moira?
Not really, like. A lot of years and kind of. It's been a while. I don't really know. Sorry.
Yeah, it has.
Had a bit of a. The old early 20s,
Yeah. Well, nice to see y'all.
Definitely looking forward to seeing Moira again.
This will be good. Oh, you remember her?
She has a bit of a place up here.
Oh, well.
She stayed there for a while.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys know who we're going to see today. It's nice. And he takes a quick swig from a hip flask, and sits back down in slightly awkward silence.
Oh, what's that you're drinking?
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like some? And he hands it back, and he can't quite reach you, so Helen takes it and passes it back towards him.
Not some ginger ale or something like that, is it?
No, it's actually a really nice brandy I found in the town called York.
Oh, aye, I'll have a wee taste of that. Just wee stuff it.
It's a cherry brandy. It's quite potent, but it's actually quite smooth and clearly quite expensive.
Aye. I'll take a wee drop. Aye.
Take a sip. Let's have a look. Would you say you'd have any kind of appreciation for the finer things?
Aye. Well, it's fine. Aye, it's fine. Aye.
Yeah. Let's have a look. What have you got on your stats here? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get in some basic rolls just so that we get a bit of practice.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Yeah, let's have intelligence plus socialise, please.
First roll of the game.
It's -1 because it's quite an uncommon brand.
-1 modifier.
Yep. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, with 3 successes. Yeah, in fact, on your way through York, you've also perused the available liquor shops, and you've seen the particular brand that you think this is. You had a quick try while you were in there, but it was a bit pricey for you, so you recognise this, and you reckon that a bottle's going to come to about 70 quid, and the bottles are not big. So this is some very nice stuff. You're very it's quite appealing, really.
Do you know if there's any more of this where we're going?
Sure is, son. I think I have some of the bottle left. I can sort you out.
Very good. Happy days. I think I may have found a friend in you then.
Well, any man that appreciates a good brandy is a friend of mine, I should say.
Oh, definitely. I enjoy good free drink. I mean, good brandy. Aye. Anytime. Brilliant.
No problem, son. As the bus labels up the final steep incline, the view is staggering. Even the grey skies cannot distract from the misty view the full length of the valley and the loch below. Then, just around the corner, your homes for the next 2 weeks come into view. Majestic in slate and local stone, the homes of Apollyon Park. And if you look at the map, I have made a layout. Each of the buildings in solid black are completed buildings in local stone with slate roofs. The grounds are mostly well-kept grass. They have small, just above ankle height fences, which are easily step overable but are intended to discourage people from driving on the grass. There is a small but negligible pond in the centre. That looks as if it's more natural than intentional. There is no fanfare around it. It's just in there, just sat there in the grass. The central building looks a little more commercial. There are large plate glass windows on the ground floor, and it's actually 2.5 stories high. So it's 2 stories high, but you can see there are also windows in the attic. So it's actually slightly taller than the other buildings. The 3 buildings on the back there are half completed.
The ones highlighted in grey.
Yeah, in grey. There are piles of local stone and building materials stacked down the side of them. Everything is dripping wet through. The smell of the area is that fresh rain smell, and the area itself, though quite miserable for the weather, looks quite exclusive. The roads are well maintained and marked. They're not in a standard fashion, and the buildings look exclusive and expensive. I would like you all to make a roll. Could we have... what should we have for this? Wits plus streetwise, please.
Streetwise. Oh god, that's a negative for me.
No modifier?
No modifier.
Not a surprise. Looking drearily out of the rain. I'm gonna get a cold, Helen. Awful weather.
Don't worry, dear. I'm sure the rain will ease up. Look at these buildings. They're so pretty.
Is the architecture's brilliant using the natural stone? It looks very much like to hear some of the history from around this place, maybe.
Yeah, I love the buildings. I wonder if they've got all the mod cons. Totally want to get to do some baking while we're here.
Hopefully.
Boris and Gil, you notice that whilst the buildings themselves are expensive and well decked out, the half-finished buildings don't look recently half finished. The work seems to have ceased some time ago, so the tarpaulins over things aren't particularly neat. You see that some of the piles of natural stone actually have weeds growing in them. It looks like they are indeed a work in progress, but it also looks like the progress may have stopped some time ago. You're not entirely sure how long ago, but there's definitely little age to it.
Must have run out of money.
More likely.
There is a
Expensive shit.
significant amount of money invested here. You get the impression that this place is intended to be extremely exclusive, and the offer is, well, more than generous. The minivan pulls up at the side of the visitor centre, following a little road off the main road towards the visitor centre. Pulls underneath an awning at the side of the building, in front of a large... The entrance is clearly commercial. It's glass plate, but it's frosted with a flowery, natural pattern. So although you can't see inside, it lets light in. The door is electric, and as you're pulling in and under the awning, it slides back. Moira has come out to greet you. She's quite a buxom lady. She's wearing a pink skirt suit and a white blouse. She has got a small ringlet hair dropped down to her shoulders. And I would like a wits plus empathy check from everyone, please.
Empathy.
She's wearing sensible but high-heeled shoes that don't quite seem to match the suit, but given the weather, that can be forgiven. Anyone with anyone with successes on that?
Do you have any idea just how stupid that roll was? I succeeded on my only roll.
So Boris, you notice that her smile looks a little worried. It's in place, but it's masking some concern. The van pulls up, and Moira Wayne opens the side of the van and welcomes you all. Hello, dears. Welcome to Apollyon Park. Please don't mind the weather. Come on, please come out. Chelsea, help them with their luggage, dear. And you notice that the woman hopping out of the front of the van who's driven you here turns in her direction. She's wearing sunglasses, is somewhat pale, and is chewing something, which you would imagine to be chewing gum. When she looks in Moira's direction, there's clear disdain on her face, but you can see that she's also quite young. Maybe recently passing her test young. And she sort of slinks around to the back and starts taking your luggage out of the back and piling it underneath the awning.
I can run into the bags if you don't need to. We can run.
No.
Okay.
Suit yourself. And she just
Boris sort of jumps forward and takes his bag. Sort of just says thank you.
Good.
And just sort of,
yes. Well, welcome to Apollyon Park. Chelsea can help you with your bags if you'd like any, of course. Please, while you're here, we just need to know a few things. I'm afraid that the network service up here is completely shocking, but our visitor centre is appointed with some wired connections and computers. And she points behind you. Oh, where are my manners? Do you want to come in out of the rain, Chelsea? You'll bring everyone's luggage in for them if they don't want to carry themselves, of course. Sorry, I forget your name.
me? My name is Boris.
Oh, Boris, yes, I remember you. You're the Eastern European fellow, aren't you? Yes, I remember you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Hello. Hello, Moira.
Nice to see you
how
again.
Are you doing?
Oh, quite well. This venture here is taking up my life, you know. Please, come in out of the rain. The drumming of the rain on the roof punctuates
The one thing I did not miss in Russia from Scotland is the bloody weather.
Yeah. Well, we can't control the weather. Hopefully it'll ease off by tomorrow. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's coming on to winter, which means it's already darkening. And by darkening, I mean the headlights were on as you pulled in. So she ushers you inside into a small reception area. On the left as you go in, there is literally a reception desk. There's nobody sat there, and there are dust sheets over the computers. The area has... on the right, there is some glass doors. They lead through into what looks like a bar area. The bar area is actually in darkness, but with what light comes through from outside, you can see that it's got a bar, it's got chairs, and it looks as if there are some menus and things up on the walls, but it is darkened in there, so you can't see very much. The room itself is quite long. Behind the reception desk on your left, you see some stairs heading upwards, and underneath the stairs, on the wall on your left, there is a door. It is labelled private, is grey. You know, that like conference hall grey that you get everywhere, that's very neutral, somewhere in the middle of white and black. And the whole place is a very conference hall feel. Everything's made of pale wood and smells of polish. The roof and the decorations are all very business-like. So it's like a tiled roof with those perfectly square lights set into it that give a very passive light that isn't going to glare anywhere, but is just dim enough to be relaxing and just bright enough to do work by. There is a long table on the right-hand side with a bench built into the wall. On closer inspection, you can see that the long table is actually several tables pushed together, but they were probably intended to do so, and so the seams are quite close. It's made of pale, expensive wood, along with the chairs that row down the other side of it, so you can face one another if you choose to sit down. Along the table, there are a few snacks and things set out, finger food, along with a couple of thermos-type flasks, which look as if they'll probably contain things like tea and coffee. Moira beckons you to this area. You can see at the back of the room that there's also another double glass door. You can see a few lights on in the room behind, but it seems much bigger than the bar area, and the lights are like little colours, maybe indicator lights, all in a row at the back. There's only about 3 or 4 of them in there, but they do look quite some distance away. Yeah, that's pretty much the room as you walk in. Moira beckons you over to the seats and takes a seat herself. And takes one of the little plates and starts helping herself to some of the finger food. Do help yourselves. We're not really decked out visitors just yet, so some of the facilities are not quite up and running, so there'll be nobody on reception. However, if you do need me, my apartment's upstairs, so do feel free to knock on my door. The door's just behind reception, just before the second set of stairs. Just give us a knock and I'll soon be down, me or Chelsea will. And she looks around concernedly and she can't see Chelsea. And then Chelsea actually comes through the door with Lee in tow. So Chelsea's actually talking to Lee as they come through the door, just quietly, just mumbling. However, it does elicit a small laugh from Chelsea. Moira frowns at this and turns back. Tea, anyone?
I'll take a cup, please. It's dreadful out there. Chill off a bit. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks, sorry.
She comes over.
Do you have any Russian blends?
I'm afraid not. Of course, we will be better appointed when we open for guests. The bar through here, and she points to the first darkened area. We'll eventually have a full menu and a Michelin star chef who we've got lined up, and also several varieties of alcohol and coffees and teas. And in fact, your suggestion will be taken. Once you get to your accommodations, you will find a full suggestions pack where you can write down your suggestions and also your ratings on the facilities that are available. As I said, please remember that some things are still under construction and we don't have staff available. If you do need anything, however, the supermarket section, which he points towards the doors at the back, is completely complimentary. So if you do need any supplies while you're here, all the food is paid for. Do help yourselves. However, if you'd be so good as to scan them through on your way out, just so we know what we need to replace, that would be really good of you, thank you. But of course your bills are completely complimentary, so do help yourselves. The bar is also self-service, as we have no one to staff it. However, I'm sure if you ask Chelsea, Chelsea looks up at this and shakes her head at her mum. We'll be happy to point you in the right direction. Won't you, Chelsea? Chelsea remains quiet and goes and stomps through, actually goes through the doors into the bar. Lee follows. And you can see her sitting in the darkness, a glow lighting up her face from her phone.
Kids, eh? What are like?
Yes, quite. I don't even know what she's doing with that thing. The reception up here is truly awful. Oh, sorry, I don't wish to interrupt.
I met a person at work the other day with the same attitude.
Yeah, I suppose it's young people, isn't it? We were never like that, were we?
I think we were worse than that, were we not?
Well, perhaps some of us, yes. Yes, so do help yourselves, and
I'll take some green tea then.
Yes, I think we have some of that. She sorts through a little box of various tea bags, pops one in a cup for you, and points out the hot water for you. One of the jugs is just hot water. Yes, as the visitor centre and your accommodation all have their own Wi-Fi, so that'll probably your best bet. Anything else? I don't wish to disturb you. I mean, there's not a lot to do after dark here, but come the morning, I have a full itinerary planned. If we meet here, say, around 9 o'clock, is that suitable for everybody?
That will work, yes.
That seems alright,
That's fine.
You might have to knock the door a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, well, if we meet here, say, about 9 o'clock, I'll have some breakfast set out for everybody, and then we can meet up with Mr. Wilkes, who is our groundskeeper, and he'll be able to give us a tour of the grounds anywhere you wish to go. There are a number of attractions in the area. We can go caving for those of you more athletically inclined, and if that's not so up your street, there are facilities for viewing the castle and some very fine walks up in the Highlands. We can go and try some of those, and I can show you some of the local sites. We can also go down to the loch, where fine fishing is available, and also some lovely waterside walks. We also have a small selection of waterborne craft, which you can take out on the lake, as long as you're confident with such things. Of course, if not, she glances at Chelsea for a second. Somebody can take you out. Maybe Mr. Wilkes will help. I'm sure he will. He's such a nice gentleman. Is there anything that I can do for any of you? I don't wish to monopolise your time.
Maybe show us to our rooms and get unpack a few bits and pieces and clothes and have
absolutely.
a sit down. Be nice.
Yes, I can show you to your rooms. And she unfolds like a pamphlet on the table. Right, and these are your rooms. And Mr. and Mrs. Hyde. This one is yours right here, and she points at the northernmost chalet on the map. Let's have a look. Who else have we got here? And sorry, I'm looking at a map which is labelled with the wrong character names. So you will have to forgive me. Henri, if you would like to take the easternmost chalet, that would be absolutely fine. That one has some of the most fantastic views of the loch. Out of the windows, so do feel free to take advantage of those. All of the chalets are appointed with making materials for teas and such, but if you do wish to take anything else from the supermarket, do feel free.
That's actually something I was going to ask you there about the supermarket. Do you have like an off license in there, or is it just the bar?
Oh, I do believe there is a very small selection of bottles in there. However, every chalet does have its own minibar, so you are welcome to help yourselves to them.
Are they free as well?
Of course, everything will be paid for during your stay.
Nice.
Of course, in return for your honest feedback, which we perhaps may use in local publications and such.
Double thumbs up so far.
Excellent. Well, so yeah, do help yourselves. And then the southernmost chalet, if who have I got here? Sorry. Southernmost chalet is actually a double. So perhaps Boris, if you would care to take one side, and perhaps Don, and I'm sorry, I missed the name of your son. It's Lee, and he sort of frowns in his direction. Yeah, perhaps you would care to take Lee over there. I'm sure you'll be able to pry him away from Chelsea. And she smiles at him somewhat meaningfully.
That will work for me. Thank you.
Excellent. Yes, and that just leaves Gil, I believe. I'm afraid you're in the smallest of the chalets, but it is still as beautifully appointed, and that's the westernmost one here. And she points at that one on the map as well.
All right, thank you. Looks good.
Right, you have to bear with me while I make some notes.
Where'd you say you were, Maura?
I'm just upstairs, and she points towards the reception desk.
Still as much of a night owl as you always were.
She blushes and says, "Oh yes, quite. Some nights I barely sleep."
Oh, definitely.
Vibe.
Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm still making notes. Let's have a look.
Sure.
Don and Lee, and you're sharing with Boris.
By now, Gil's kind of eaten like 5 sandwiches. It's like home.
Boris is also nibbling. quite
There
happily.
is more than enough food here. You haven't eaten for a good few hours on the journey.
Surprisingly, he always follows Gil. Always, but after Gil takes a bite, Boris takes the same thing.
Like
Only
Gil
slightly
takes one, Boris takes two.
Yeah.
I just just to make sure.
So he knows it's safe to eat.
That was the idea.
Hey lads, leave a wee
Right.
bit of that for me, will you? Because I'm going to need something to soak this up whenever I get started on it as well.
Yeah, of course. I do remember we've got an engagement in the morning. I would ask you not to wander too far alone, especially after dark. The lighting for the park isn't entirely finished, so that we wouldn't want anyone hurting themselves now, would we? Also, some of the castle ruins are really quite unstable. And we wouldn't want anyone falling in the loch after dark, would we now? Do mind the cliffside. It is clearly fenced with the precautionary fencing, but with no light at night. That could be... just be careful not to trip.
Before we turn in for tonight, is anybody interested in a small nightcap?
Don't worry about it, I'm taking care of that myself.
I must turn in. Please, your keys are here, and she reaches on over the desk at the reception and hands one to each of you. There is a single key on a ring, which this key will fit all the doors in the chalets. Most of them have a front and a glass panel door at the back, leading out onto the barbecue area and the decking.
Barbecue, Helen! Barbecue!
So, please enjoy your evenings. I won't bother you any further. Make use of the facilities and do enjoy. You know where I am. And she heads towards... Yes.
Before you go, just to ask you, with the lock there, I didn't really think on planning ahead for that. I didn't bring any swimming gear. Is there anything you'd suggest?
Yes, if you pop into our supermarket, there is a small clothing section, especially with some swimming gear for just that occasion. Also,
I think I might
you'll
need the
find-
larger gear.
Yeah, but I think that you'll find it's appropriate for you. Also, I have made sure that each of the chalets does have toweling and bathrobes for you, complimentary, of course, should you need to dry yourselves off. But I would request not going down after dark. However, we won't want anyone hurting themselves now, would we? She seems quite nervous and
definitely
fidgety.
not. We don't.
So, would any of you care for me to show you to your accommodation before I leave you for the night?
Yeah, we'll
I will
we'll
find
go.
it myself. Thank you.
We'll go with you.
Thank you, Morris. Mr. Hyde, yes, Helen.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you again. She shakes her hand. Right. Helen looks somewhat puzzled at Moira, just for a second, and the smile returns to her face, and she takes it in her stride. Yes. Let's go, Moira. Lovely to meet you. And Helen picks up one of the suitcases and follows Moira towards the door.
Grab another
Come on,
one
Jack.
and follow along.
Right, so you get taken to your accommodation. It's down on the road. Moira takes an umbrella out of a small stand by the entrance and walks you round outside. The umbrella is, proper golf-style umbrella. And while she offers to take one of your bags, she does seem to be struggling with both the umbrella and the bag, but is grinning and bearing it. She heads on out into the rain and doesn't seem to mind getting a little bit wet to cover the both of you under the golf umbrella. Anything you particularly like to do on the way around to your accommodation?
Just so sorry. So we're going past the like not ruined, but the half completed buildings. We're walking past those. Just thought I'd give a glance over those, see if there's anything that I notice. I mean, I suppose it's fairly dark, but just like what's going on? It seems like there's maybe not been some work on the building for what's the.
Yep, make wits plus streetwise.
Wits, streetwise, boof. Doof.
-1 because it's dark.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Where's the button? -1. No, come on. Come on, computer, work with me. For fuck's sake, I've not succeeded on a single roll tonight. It's amazing.
Yes, the work is ongoing. Soon there will be fine appointed buildings like such as the one I'm taking you to. Obviously, we need more room for guests, but as they're quite exclusive, some of the buildings do double up as double habitations, so they can be divided, like the most southern one. And I believe yours as well also has a divider for such occasions, but isn't needed.
No,
The both of you there, obviously.
Wouldn't be separated from any wood idea. She says nothing.
I have been meaning to ask, actually, Helen says, looking towards Moira. Is there ovens and such? I do quite like my baking. I'm not so fond of trekking in the Highlands, but, some baking would be keeping me busy. Yeah, there's a wood burning stove. Which should all be stocked up. I believe Mr. Wilkes has accommodated us. Unfortunately, getting gas and electric out here is quite difficult, but obviously we will have staff to refresh such things every morning and possibly evening. The supermarket also has more wood and lumber if you need it. Have you cooked with wood before? There is a handy guide in our guidebook. I'll be happy to show it to you. Yeah, that would be lovely, thank you. Moira and Helen discuss the finer points of baking over a wood stove for a few minutes as you head towards the house. Anything you would like to?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. You approach the stone and slate building. The windows and doors are plastic, but very high quality. It has its own little area, a little bit like its own garden. That's just divided off with like some tastefully shaped bushes, and you're shown inside. The room you enter into is a large main room. The floor above is a mezzanine. And the large main room has a fire burning at the far end. Large logs crackle and spit. The fire's been burning here for a while, and the sudden heat after outside just brings a spattering of sweat to your brow as the cold is left behind, and it feels as if the heat's drying the rain from you almost instantly. The building is warm and welcoming. The only light comes from the fire, but there are also several small electric lights that look as if they're part of some sort of emergency system, which are on along the ceilings. As Moira enters the room, she reaches for a light switch and stops. You notice this. Do you notice this? Let's have a look. Let's have a wits plus composure for this one, please.
Compose. Oh, that's one of those, isn't it?
Both at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice this as she reaches for the light and then puts her hand down almost self-consciously and rubs her hands together.
Is everything okay, Moira? There's a problem with the electrics, maybe?
Yes, I forgot that some of the chalets haven't been connected as yet. But there are all of our battery-powered lighting, and they're all individually controllable. And she walks over to one of them and pushes on it, and it turns off. And she pushes on it again, and it turns back on again. It's not like the cheap plastic clicky ones, but they're like nice touch lamps.
Okay.
If any of them prove to be a problem, we do have replacement batteries in the supermarket. I'm sorry that the electric systems are not up to scratch as yet. They will be coming online, but we think it adds a nice rustic feel to the place. And we do make sure that you're fully supplied with lumber and everything you need to cook. And she smiles in Helen's direction. Oh, keep yourselves warm, and the logs should burn quite well here. We make sure we get good quality firewood. And she reassures you.
I suppose that's why we come out here, isn't it? For like nature and things, get away from.
Exactly, it's lovely and relaxing out here. Anyway, I will let you get acclimatized. Do feel free to explore the place and put your clothes out. You will be here for a couple of weeks after all. And good night, he says, and sort of heads out the door. I would like wits plus crafts check, please.
Crafts check. Wits and crafts. Booth. One success. Okay.
So, continuing to describe the building you've just walked into. The room you're in, to your immediate left, has a kitchen, which joins through into the living area, which you walk in on. The living area is about 3/4 of the length of the building, and actually to the left, by a door, not against the outside wall, but towards the centre of the building, is the large roaring fire. To the left of it, there is a passageway leading back to two other rooms. Both are quite large and well appointed, one of which has its own entrance to the outside, and you notice that door can be locked, so it makes a separate little living area. There is an ensuite in there, along with a kitchen, the wrong word, but small area for food preparation, divided off to one side. On the right is the master bedroom. It is gloriously decked out. The beds are made of wood. The cabinets are all made of oak. Everything is polished and smells new. Everything smells very well maintained. The bedrooms smell of lavender, which stands in a little jar on the desk. And the beds have got spreads over them rather than just bedding on them. You can head upstairs, and that is just beyond the kitchen on your right, and doubles back on itself up onto the mezzanine floor. You can look down into the living area from the mezzanine floor, and if you turn to the right, you'll find another small bedroom. This one's well appointed but quite snug. You would imagine it would be a children's room if you had children with you. Down to the end of the hall, there are yet more rooms. These can also be divided off, which look as if they're the upstairs to the other room you saw downstairs. It's actually a living area, unlike the bedroom which you saw downstairs, so it's reversed round, and the windows look out with a glorious view over the forests. What you've noticed, however, is that whilst everything looks prim, proper, and new, there are a few things slightly out of place. Some of the beds don't seem recently changed, and the bedding on them seems a little fusty. And you've also noticed that there seems to be repairs in places to the furniture. One of the beds doesn't match the others, and looks like a cheap replacement. And also there are some repairs to a few of the windows in the building. The living area has large plate glass windows looking out into the over the park, over the road, and over the small pond area. And a couple of those look as if they've been recently replaced. The kitchen area looks largely unused, which Helen is rapidly exploring and enjoying the opportunity to cook with an oven that's powered by wood. She keeps exclaiming how all the tools and mod cons are here, but the electricity doesn't work. So there's like mixers and microwaves and things like that, but there's no electricity. But there is also this wood-bearing stove. Things just strike you as a little odd that such a new building would need repairs, and some things here are older than you would expect or cheaper than you would expect.
Did you say that was? You said the bedding was a little bit like musty. Is that like all of the beds?
No,
or
so
is it just like one of them?
The main bedroom that smells of lavender is perfectly laid out.
All right.
There are fresh candles in there.
It's the
also
upstairs one, which was a bit.
The upstairs one, yes. Your upstairs
Okay.
one. That would be the second. So the children's bedroom doesn't appear to have been turned ever. It's not unpleasant,
Right.
but there
I'm
is a
with you.
slight musty smell to it, and because there's only a small window in there, it doesn't seem to have got much fresh air. The furniture in there, however, is still expensive and well maintained, but the bedding itself, when you sit down on it, just for a second, you sort of bounce on it a little. The bed's lovely. Exactly the right, but the bedding itself gives off a musty smell as you bounce on it. The second bedroom that isn't the master bedroom is also quite similar to this, but the master bedroom seems to have been changed and perfect. However, the secondary apartment, the bed in there does seem to be. All the other beds are wood, fine wood, oak or pine, and they're in a certain style. The one in the secondary apartment appears to be one of those divans with pull-out drawers underneath.
Oh God!
It totally stands out. I mean, they've tried to hide it. There are drapes over it that fit the scheme, but it is clearly a cheap replacement. Yeah. Anything else you wish to do?
No, that's it. I think it'd just be joining Helen, wandering around and noticing these things. I think maybe we'll tell Moira in the morning, but our room should be fine. Should be fine. Game of chess. Immediately get out my Star Wars branded chess set.
Sure. I think I brought some cookies. And she goes over and to the luggage and brings out a plastic box which is clearly filled with homemade cookies, and sits down and starts playing chess with you. Right, and so you will spend the rest of the evening that way. There are oil lamps around the home, all of which are nice and easy to light. There is a single box of matches in the kitchen. There's about 6 or 8 in it. It looks quite low, but you should be able to get more from the supermarket in the morning. There are a couple of candles around which Helen has lit for you to play by, and of course the light and warmth from the fire. It's very cosy and just sort of laid back on the incredibly comfortable sofas that are a little too low to the ground that encourage you spreading your legs out. Is a very comfortable experience. And you spend a pleasant night playing chess, eating cookies, and Moira even gets the stove going so she can boil some water for boil some milk for hot chocolate.
Yes!
Milk is there, available in the ice box, which is quite an unusual thing to see. It is a metal box with a block of ice in the top.
Oh, right, okay.
It looks as if it's been put in the kitchen as an afterthought. It doesn't really fit, but it chills things, and the ice needs replacing occasionally, but other than that, it seems to work fine. Right, heading back to everyone else. Anyone wish to do anything?
Boris did ask for a nightcap if everyone wishes to join him. So, does anyone wish to join Boris for a nightcap? In the bar?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay.
Oh,
So we
it's-
just sort of, I think we just collect some of the food and move to the bar.
Okay.
Like a tray. Start wobbling towards the bar.
Yep. Nibbler.
Chelsea and Lee both look up in your direction and go. Lee looks a little embarrassed. Chelsea kind of sighs and says, "Yeah, there's no light. Sorry, but you can get stuff from behind the bar. Anyone? Yeah, you know what it is. It's a bar. Help yourselves." And she kind of
Right.
walks out. And Lee looks at his dad, and Don goes, "You want to stay, son? I'm sure they'll have something here that you can drink. Some Coke or something." Oh, God. And Lee just sort of walks out.
I'll plop the tray back on the table.
That's a very teenagery. That's perfect.
Just as Lee's leaving, Don looks down at the only key and looks after Lee, who's gone, and just slips it into his top pocket. So what would you like to do? You're in the bar. It is very well appointed. There are some very expensive things here. None of the pumps seem to work. And the refrigerators are off. So all of the bottles are warm. However, there are some bottles of ale, many of which you have not tried. And there also appears to be a bucket of ice left there for you. The bucket of ice is melting slightly, but it does seem quite fresh, so it's not going to inconvenience you too much.
Boys doesn't ask anybody. He goes to the vodka section, gives everybody a glass, and sort of pours a good glass of vodka to everybody, including himself.
As you
And he expects everybody to drink it.
as you're looking around the room, you do notice several electrical things are on, which is a little bit unusual given that everything seems to be turned off. But yes, everyone gets handed a glass of vodka. It is a nice Russian brand which you have recognised. It isn't exactly top of the tree, but at the same time it's the sort of thing you would consider putting in your cupboard.
Sort of like, but
Cheers.
like I said, boys doesn't have a hand. It's not as just a normal tiny shot. It's like a 2 deciliter glass, a normal glass, and it just sort of half filled. It will hit you hard.
Yep.
And
Well, cheers, man. Thanks.
Zdrowie.
Don takes it, swigs it back, slams it down. That was some good stuff, lad.
Whew.
No.
Not really used to the vodka, but it's nice.
Yes, it goes down smoothly.
So, what you guys make of this morrow then?
Sweet bit. I don't know, something that. I don't really know. What about you, Boris? What do you think?
She's pretty.
Ah, that is true. What about you, Don?
Well, he's got a point. Can't say no to a lass with a bit to hold on to.
Seems a bit too timid for my taste, so.
Yeah, well, she seems to have done all right for herself.
I do have seen that. She seems rattled, but maybe she's not used to new people.
Yeah, a wee
Yeah.
bit shy looking.
Although,
Guess it has been a while.
did any of you notice as we were driving up, some of them chalets look a bit... Yeah, she said they were being delayed, but they looked a bit abandoned to me.
For a long time, by the looks.
He reaches into his hip flask and pours some brandy into his glass.
Boy sees that and sort of just refills everybody else's glass and hands him another glass. Also fills that one and then hands it to him.
Thanks, son.
This bottle.
Hi, lads.
We need to kill this bottle tonight. Just
Lads.
put it on the corner.
There's something. I found a nice wee bottle in there, and in that shopping centre place there that they had. It's a nice wee bottle of Glenfiddich. It'll keep me going tonight. Oh, Boris!
Sorry, have you
What do you have
gone
there?
through into the supermarket?
I had. No, I'm
Okay.
on my way back.
We'll come back to you. Does anyone else want to do anything else in the few minutes while Henri is away?
Just kind of look about the bar. You're saying like a few of there's things plugged in, but there's no lights. Like, is
Right,
there
so
anything off-putting?
Bar is on the left along the wall. There is a door behind the bar that leads through to somewhere. It is locked. The bar itself has some fridges down below at the back where people can see what's in them. They're all turned off. The pumps themselves don't seem to be working. However, there are lights along the top of the mirrors behind the bar. The lights are very dim. They look as if they've been dimmed, but they illuminate all of the spirits along the wall. Each of the tables has like a plug and Wi-Fi and USB thing underneath them, nice and discreet. The tables themselves are very modern, but made of wood and fit in quite nicely in a bar atmosphere. But they all have a little red light on as if they're powered. And if you try it, they are indeed powered. So all of the sockets work, which is a little unusual because the fridges are off, which is strange, because why would you turn the fridges off? Also, looking around, you can see that there is a very large TV in a cupboard at one end of the room, and the sleep light is on the TV. However, there doesn't appear to be a remote with it, and when you try and press the power button, the red light goes off, and when you press the power button again, the red light comes back on again. It doesn't seem to want to show anything. Anything in particular you'd like to look around? There are little signs of power around the room.
I'll remove my phone, which is a cracked, cheap iPhone, with like the screen all smashed, and use the light to try to look around just to see if there's anything I can use to. Maybe they've just missed the light switch or something. Just like to see if I can turn something on, like a light of one of the fridges, or find like a way to make the lights behind the glasses a bit brighter.
Wits plus composure, please. You're not going to get a minus because you've got a torch with you.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Wits is already clicked. Where is composure?
It's on the top.
You might have to
top in
Oh,
the.
there it is. Thank you. I was looking down the skills.
Yeah.
There we go. Does that work?
Yeah. So, looking around, you do find a light switch. The light switch doesn't appear to work. The only lights in the building are the ones in the entranceway, which again strikes you as a little odd. The lights are there, they light the area up with that nice passive light, they're obviously powered, but the ones in here don't work. You also find the power switches for the fridges, which are down one end of the bar, and upon turning them on, the fridges come on.
Lads, I got ice. I got the fridges on.
This will be good for tomorrow, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there is
this
the
will
trick.
be good for tomorrow. But today is a bit late, and that's why we're drinking spirits. Spirits don't need to be cold.
Yeah,
And has he
if you give
finished
it sort of
his
like a wet towel, like a paper towel, and you get like a bottle and you put it in the fridge, and it makes it cool quicker. I don't know.
As you finish your sentence, you hear a howl in the distance.
Immediately, like jump and drop my phone, just clatter to the ground and pick it up.
Clearly-
That must be those wolves they put back in Scotland.
I heard about them. Not much a fan of them.
Wolves? Don's ears prick up metaphorically, and he reaches towards his crossbow.
You can't shoot wolves.
Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
If there's a wolf
They-
here that's
they are-
gonna fucking eat me, I'm gonna let him shoot it.
Look, yeah, he's damn right.
They are
If a wolf
still-
comes
they
at
are
me, I'm
still
going to
in
blow his
danger.
brains out. I
They are
mean,
still in danger. You can't.
so am I.
I'm gonna say, yeah, if it boils down to it, and I'm in danger, and it's in danger, and I'm fucking shooting it.
Damn straight, Gil.
How far away did the howl sound? Like it was just like a distant one, or like...
Intelligence plus survival, please.
He's now he's getting paranoid.
Oh yeah, you have that, right?
Yeah. Intelligence survival, this isn't gonna go well. Oh, +1. Not +1, but 1 success.
You remember from something you read once that wolf howls are intended as a way to mark their territory or scare off predators. Scare off competitors. And they travel for quite some distance. You think 3-4 miles, no problem. So walking distance, but not for about an hour and a half if it's at its furthest distance. Of course, a wolf could cover that much quicker.
I'll say to Dawn.
Wolves also don't go into buildings.
Well, they do if they're dark, and there's no electricity, and there's
And the
nice
door
little soft
open,
things in
or
them.
window open. Don't open windows, don't open doors. We'll be good. Everything will be good.
Right, let's pop over to the supermarket. Right, Henri, you've gone over to the sliding door, and it hasn't opened. No response.
Are you deliberately doing the Morse code thing?
He's doing the motion sensor. Like, come on, jumping up and down in front of it.
Yeah.
You can see.
I want some drink.
You can
Hello.
see inside. It's quite shadowy. Yep. There's no
Get a wee bit of a pull.
no straining required. It does just push open. It's unlocked, but it's just not working.
Oh.
The supermarket itself takes up the remainder of the building. At least straight ahead it does. There's about 5 aisles, mostly off to your left. There are some checkouts, all abandoned and covered with dust sheets. There is a small bank of self-service checkouts, about 3 of them, against the wall at the far end. The lights that you noticed in here earlier turn out to be little lights on the refrigerators at the far end. Each one of them has got a semi-metallic sheet over the front to keep the cooling, and the light at the top to say it's on. To the right of the room, there is a large double door, which is barred with a heavy padlock through it. And next to that is a chiller door. If you've ever seen an industrial chiller, ever seen an industrial chiller? It's a very heavy door that slides on runners. And that has got some sort of makeshift lock put over it, again padlocked closed. But you can see from the box above it that it's running at a constant temperature of about 2 degrees. Anything you'd like to do in here?
Yeah, I'm not really too interested in the anything that's that cold. I'm just looking for something that's it's good and strong. So I'm just gonna kind of look down. Normally, what you tend to find is the good stuff will be in the back.
Quite dark in here. Do you have anywhere to see around?
I guess probably the only thing to do is to pull out my phone and use the light on that.
Okay. There's an odd smell in here as well. Sort of a mixture of old food and perhaps a slight metallic tang. I would like intelligence plus medicine, please.
It's clear I've been playing too much D&D. I keep expecting you to be like, make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Medicine, did you say?
Yeah, intelligence plus medicine, please.
If you think that's bad, I keep on going to say, Norman does this.
Yeah.
No.
You're not Narman today.
You don't recognise it. Maybe it's some sort of mouldy vegetable.
Speak for yourself, my accent is slipping into vodka.
As you go up and down the aisles, you notice that the place is well stocked with things like cans and toiletries, and there's quite a lot of alcohol here as well. There is a small clothing section, as promised. It's really quite Spartan, in that there's only 1 or 2 items of clothing in different sizes. There are some swimming clothes here, however there's not a lot of choice. You've got either Speedos or very large shorts. There is also a leotard-style ladies' swimmer.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say like a Borat thing.
Yeah, a mankini.
They're
A leotard-style ladies' swimsuit as well. And they are in like 3 sizes. Same with the Speedos, you've got about 3 sizes. And other than that, you've got very big shorts with pull string waist.
Moira would look good in these, and probably look even better out of them as well.
You chuckle to yourself as you make your way down to the alcohol aisle. At the far end of the far aisle, there is a small selection of alcohol, about 3 or 4 shelves full of different spirits. It seems a little Spartan. There's 1 or 2 bottles of everything. There are no gaps, however. Anything particularly you're looking for?
Yeah, just looking for a bottle of Glenfiddich.
Yeah, no problem. There's about 3 of those, and they're on a eye-level shelf.
Sweet. What years have we got here?
Only one of them's single malt, and it's a 20-year-old single malt.
Oh, that'll do me, aye. Better before that Russian gets it anyway. Grab that. Right. Happy
That's
days.
the last one on the shelf. But
Keeping this one to
there
myself.
is another brand of well-aged whiskey, and one you don't recognise. And upon a closer inspection, it seems to be a local one.
Maybe I'll try that later. I don't know. So what'd she say? I gotta check these out. Wonder does she do club cards?
Wander over to the checkouts. There doesn't seem to be any power.
So how the fuck are we supposed to? Oh, for fuck's sake! How are we supposed to check this stuff out? There's no way to fucking check. Look! There's nothing happening.
Wits plus composure, please.
Where's composure?
It's top, of
Composure
the,
is
top of the
in-
sheet.
Yeah, they're both at the top. Sorry.
I'll tell you what. It's probably the best
As
thing
you're
to do.
swinging the light around, you could have sworn there was somebody else in the room with you. Just caught some movement.
Alright. I think probably the best thing to do then, but I'll take a label off this. I'll leave it here. She can scan it herself in the morning. That's great.
You hear shuffling.
Hello?
Your voice echoes slightly. The roof's quite high.
Hello? Lee, is that you?
Bzzz, the fridge kicks in at the far side of the room.
Jeez, I thought you were about to say there was a lifesaver there. Fucking Lee's into Star Wars shite. Well, I don't know. Wonder if Moira's got rats. Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna go to the bar because
Okay. You take the label off the bottle, leave it by the till, and head for the door. As you get there, the door buzzes open.
what the hell? What kind of fucking cowboy electrician she get in to do this place?
Bye.
Fuck's sake. I'll take a wee look at it in the morning, I suppose. Though.
Yeah, on Channel 4 daytime news,
Ah,
daytime telly.
Let's have a look. Gil, I believe you feel a little chill. Yeah, just a chill.
Someone got a window open? The fuck? Is there a breeze?
You glance around and the room's quite cool. There doesn't appear to be any heating on, but because it's quite sheltered, you're not particularly cold in here. There doesn't appear to be any windows open. The heavy curtains, however, are closed on one of the double windows at the far end.
Might be the fridges. Fuck it. Turn my collar up. Everybody else feel that?
No one
Are you
else feels
Are you
particularly
cold?
cold. Yeah.
Weirdly, I think I need to get more vodka in me. Fuck it.
Aye.
I take it.
That was I was thinking. Here, have this. And sort of pulls you a full glass this time.
Henri, would you like to do anything
Thank
else
you.
before you return to the others?
No, as I say, I mean, I got the door. I was just going to ask how far away it was.
Between the supermarket and the bar?
Yeah.
It's just the length of the room. It's quite a long room, but it's just the length of the room. The room's got like 2 lights on in the roof that seem somehow dimmer than you remember during the day. The room seems quite shadowed now. Like over by the reception, there's no light at all, and it's very dark. Outside, it's just pitch black, and there are shadows all along the wall. You can see the outlines of the food that was left out for you, and the jugs and things, and the remainder of what's there, just left out all on the table in the dim light coming from the 2 square patches of light in the ceiling.
I'm going to knock off the light on my phone. I don't think I'm going to need it anymore. And I'm going to head over to the reception. The fact that it's nice and dark is perfect for me, actually, because I'm going to go into the bar and have a drink. But before I do, I'm not going to be sharing any of this stuff, so I'm just going to nip it in here behind the counter. Go over, grab a couple of handfuls of bits of food, start throwing them in my mouth, and start heading towards the bar.
Yeah, you grab yourself a handful of cocktail sausages, some cheese and onions on sticks, and you've got some of those mini little sausage rolls as well, like a big fistful. It feels a bit primitive, but hell, it's food. You eat it. And did you say you were going to try and stash the bottles you've got?
Yep.
So let's have a look. What should we call that?
I think
We'll
just
call
the
it
one.
larceny. Oh, just
Just
the
the
bottle.
one
So
that I got.
you have 20-year-old Scotch. Yeah, Dex plus larceny, please.
Arson, ooh, fancy.
Larceny, really?
Yeah, larceny includes things like sleight of hand and things like that. It was either that or stealth, and I think larceny is probably more appropriate for hiding something about your person.
Well, it's not around my person.
It's quite a big bottle, but you've tried to tuck it under your arm. As long as you keep your arm down, you'll be fine.
Oh no, I wasn't putting it in. I wasn't storing it here. I was putting it in behind the counter where the
Oh, I'm
reception is,
sorry.
because it
I'm
was nice
sorry.
and dark.
I misunderstood. So, yep, you can hide it behind there. No worries. You tuck it underneath, out away, and you actually move one of the dust sheets over it slightly. So anyone looking will probably just think it's part of the computer. You head back into the lounge area. As you do, you can just see everyone like talking about the cold.
What's happening, lads? He's cold after a few drinks as well, still. Well, pour me one of those, will you? Boris, looks like you got a nice wee glass. Go on, give me a double or whatever that is you're having.
Boris pours him a double of his ginormous heavy hand.
By this time, the lot of you are pretty well through this bottle, and I'd like you all to make a stamina roll, please. Just plain stamina.
Do I get a bonus? I have toxin resistance.
In that case, you do. You know the specifics more than me.
Yeah, I have a +2 bonus, I think, modifier.
Let's have a look. I will double. Oh, no, I'll trust you. I'll trust you to
Yeah, I
use
was
it.
looking at it before for that exact reason, because I was
Yep.
planning on drinking. Yeah, toxin resistance, +2 modified to stamina rolls whenever affected drugs,
Oh.
poison, or toxins.
I
I have never had a hangover in my life. That is also one of the descriptions.
You haven't been drinking with me, boy.
Lucky
Sorry,
motherfuckers.
I had
Sorry.
a survival -1 ticked on mine. Today I just am I able to roll like a single dice to fix that?
If you don't have survival, that's why you'll get a -1. Do you have a
Yeah,
point
I
of
did.
survival?
I didn't mean to click survival because we're just doing straight stamina.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah. Yes. In
No,
that case,
I'm-
yeah. Just do roll d10. I'll take it 8 or above as a.
Damn, still failed. Yeah.
So. Oh my word!
Oh,
Damn.
Everyone
Right.
is
So,
lost.
Boris, you've been hitting the bottle quite heavy. I mean, you know, this is the half the bottle's gone, and you're pretty sure you've drunk most of it. So the room, though dark, is beginning to look a little unstable to you. But you know, this is nothing unusual to you. It's happened a lot. Unstable. That just means the fun's starting, right? However, Gil,
it's a good stuff.
yeah, Gil, yeah, you're not really used to this strong liquor shit. You know,
No.
you can stand your night with a bunch of beers, but whew, Jesus, you've only had 2, and already the room's looking a little spinny.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with you, lad?
I think I should have had more to eat. It's hit me pretty hard already. Jesus.
I think there's still a couple of sausage rolls out there if you want to go out and take a wee look for them.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go have a look. Cheers, man. Gonna go.
You stagger a
go
little
look
as you
for
stand
food.
up and catch yourself on one of the chairs, but you make your way outside.
Yep. I kind of do like that. I am a walking human being. I'm totally not half cut.
Yeah,
kind of walk.
you like paying attention to the patterns on the carpet to make
Yeah.
sure you're not like zigzagging as you go. You're making sure that you always walk directly in the middle of the diamonds.
Exactly.
You make it
Pass the
out
drug test thing.
into the entranceway. It's dark out here and somehow colder than it was in the bar. That draft seems back.
Jesus Christ. Are those
just-
2 kids still out here?
No, you've not seen either Lee or
Chelsea.
Chelsea, thank you, or Chelsea since they walked out earlier. Which did you notice? Don check his keys.
No, I didn't. I don't think I was really noticing.
In which case, yeah, you've not seen them. Maybe they went upstairs with Moira.
Oh well. I'll go grab some more food.
There's quite a selection of food. There's way more food than you would be able to eat. So there is more than enough food here for you to fill your arms. And there's enough paper plates for you to get sorted. And when I say paper plates, I don't mean those crappy flexible ones that you buy for 99p. These
Yeah.
are plates that are made from compressed paper, and they're very, very fine paper plates. It's a plate made of paper but at the same time, it ain't bending. It's a plate.
Nice.
Kill
So
it
you
with
can
it.
stack. You
Load
can
that up
stack
with
it up.
food.
Yeah.
And is the door to the shopping place open, or did that like close?
It's not at the minute. You can see the lights down the back. Nothing seems to have changed very much.
Okay. I'll just grab the food and like, is the door open, or is it like, can I like see any kind of source of the draft? Because if it isn't gonna fucking close it.
There doesn't appear to be anything here. There's only actually one big window into this room, and that's where you came in through the doors. And then immediately to the right of those is the entrance to the bar that you've just come out of. And then you've turned right as you come out of the bar, and there's a large table there with the spread. And at the far end is the door. To your left is a long wall, but protruding from it. So immediately as you come in from the door is level with a fine wooden, looks like some chestnut and oak bar. And I say it's a bar, it's a reception desk. And then the reception desk breaks. It curves elegantly round, and you can walk around there and get in behind. If you go around there and turn right, you can actually see the door, which leads to the stairs you were told about, but that protrudes away from the wall, and so the room gets slightly narrower to the same extent as the bar, so about the width of the doorway. In that piece of wall, under what you presume is the stairs, is a door in a very neutral grey, labelled staff only. That continues for a little while, and then it stops before you can see a darkened corner off to the left behind that bit, or straight ahead you can see the supermarket.
Okay. Because of the jar window and the fact that it's cold and a little bit dark and creepy, paranoia basically sets in. Do I think anybody's nearby kind of watching me?
Make your roll. I would say it is wits plus... Right, do you have any survival?
I do not.
Do you have any... Let's have a look. No, we'll just get wits plus composure, I think. It's a bit creepy in here.
And because of my paranoia thing, it says like
You get extra dice, yes, you do.
So only one extra dice.
Yeah, you get an extra dice for it, yeah. So you get a plus one modifier to it.
Sweet. So let's do one, and hope I didn't mess that up again. Hey, 2 successes.
There might be a draft coming from around that darkened corner, but something moved. Maybe it's blowing the curtains.
I'll go have a look. I'll go see if I'm able to if it's like the latch on the window's left open or something.
As you're approaching, the door to the supermarket opens by itself.
Immediately does like spin around. What the fuck?
No one there. You get to the corner, and you look around, and there's a fire escape there. It is glass, so it would let light in during the day. It appears to be closed from this distance, but it's a few feet away, yeah? You're to your right and behind you by a few feet is the entrance to the supermarket. The door remains open.
Must be the door. Just to be safe, I'll go over to the fire exit door and I kind of like just give it like a slight push to kind of make sure it's not like slightly open or anything.
Just swings open into the night. The rain drums upon the pavement outside.
Ugh, I pull it
swings
closed.
with a little creak. You pull it closed. There's a slight clatter as the door comes together, and it looks as if the locking mechanism's actually broken.
Is there anything nearby that I can use like to jam it closed? Maybe like a mop or a broom or something?
There is the staff-only door that you've walked past a little while ago, but there's nothing in the area. It's quite well manicured. So I suppose you could try and jimmy something with a chair, but the doors swing outwards. So.
Oh, bugger. Nah, fuck it. I'll go back to the bar. I know what the draft is now. On the way back through.
Pull the doors close as best you can, and the supermarket door slides closed.
Oh, fuck this shit. And like hurry back to the bar. Like a bit of a fast pace.
As you're going, you can swear you heard a footstep behind you.
It's like I immediately just like spin around again, but my left hand just goes down to my trousers where like I have my concealable handgun, just like a panic. Not really like pulling out, but like just like it's near there just in case. Oh god, the bomb!
The alarm goes off.
Excuse me a second.
Session over.
Everyone is dead.
There's no one there. The door to the supermarket is closed again. But that strange chill is still with you, but then you didn't close the door properly.
Fuck a shit. Need more vodka. Fuck a shit. Need to get drunk. Fuck. Go back to the bar. It's like close the door behind me.
Just as you're stepping back into the bar, you hear one of the chairs move in the entranceway.
I just spin around and go, what the fuck? Who's there?
So, you don't see anything. Everybody else, however, sees you spin round and go, what the fuck?
You right there, bud?
What are you doing?
I swear to God, there's something fucking following me out here.
It's your own shadow.
You know what? There are footsteps and there's a fucking draft and that chair just moved and that fucking door keeps opening.
You're not drunk. You're not drunk, you know.
I'm fucking right, I'm not, but something's in here.
You sure you just been drinking? You didn't find any mushrooms right there or anything, did you?
Fuck no.
Sorry, Jay.
That's fine. I accepted it.
Someone come here, please. Scaring the fuck out of me here. I don't like this horror movie shite. I've seen far too many things of Friday the 13th and all that, and Halloween and Scream and fuck.
Well, then they fuck them, boy. Get another wee drink and you get a wee bit of hairs on there.
I'll go back in and make sure the door's closed.
You make sure the door closes behind you and you stagger over towards the seat that you had before. Your feet are lent a little more surety by the adrenaline that's running through your blood as well as the alcohol, and you don't stumble as you make your way over there. But you do keep glancing over your shoulder as you make your way there, and you sit down at the end of the table facing the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, would anyone else like to do anything while we're sat here in the bar?
Boris is going to take a look in his suitcase that he has, basically more a duffel bag, and sort of collect his knife and just put him on his person somewhere. Maybe just sort of on his belt.
Okay.
He was hiding it before. He was just not having it on then, but decided that.
You're trying to hide this?
His little friend.
You trying to hide this from everyone else? Or
not particularly. Just
okay.
Sort of. Maybe I'll do some hunting later.
You afraid of something
Go out
goes wrong
there.
in the night there, lad?
There's a thing out there you can hunt.
You know, this place after dark, lads, is a little creepier than it was during the day. I think I better be turning myself in. And he drains his glass.
Wait, I'll go with you. We have the same place after all.
Yeah. Let's, safety in numbers and all that. Huh.
Loving the holiday already.
Yeah. Good
Boy
fun.
also just finishes his glass and stumbles out.
Good night, gents.
Stumbles
See you at 9 in the morning. Don seems to be holding his liquor quite well. By his general build, you'd imagine that the alcohol he's drunk hasn't been excessive. And he heads towards the door, leaving Henri and Gil sat at the table in the quiet, dimly lit room.
All right there, lad. You look like you seen a ghost.
Oh, I'm just fucking spooked out, man. There's some weird shit out there. You were in that shopping thingy, weren't you?
It's I don't know. I think there's a problem with electricity in there. Maybe a problem with fuses or something.
Seems to be like a running theme here, doesn't it? Did you hear? Did you have like a draft? Fucking hell! I swear there was somebody out there.
Jesus, lad, it's Scotland. What do you expect? You know the crack yourself. Fucking cold up here. You got a river you got a loch right out there, and you're complaining about being cold. What do you expect?
Aye. Good out in Scotland. It's cold and there's creepy men in the darkness walking behind you moving chairs. Good fun. Oh, there's fucking wolves.
In fairness, two of those creepy men just held up their bed together.
Oh, I needed that. Thank you, man. You want to stay here? You're gonna bugger off too, because I'm not going to be going anywhere on my own.
Well, I was thinking about giving more a wee shout there, but no, I think probably it's best to just we'll leave that till another time. You never know. You never know what's going on there. Where did you say you were? Because I'm way over the far side.
I think I'm on far west. You said.
Far west.
West.
You're pretty much opposite the entrance to the visitor centre.
Oh,
Um,
I'm like round the corner.
yeah, you're the closest to the visitor centre.
You alright there, lad? Do you want me to walk you down or anything?
No, it'll be alright. We're heading the same way, aren't we? Like you're going around.
Oh, I take it back. Sorry, you're left of that one.
This is
It's- yeah.
mine.
Maybe
and
just
yours.
mark on that map so we know.
Yeah, that's a good point. If
I put
everyone
my name
writes
on.
their name on there, that would be
Oh yeah,
handy.
you can do that, right?
Yeah, that would be great. So Don, Lee, and Boris have the southernmost one, which is this one. And if I find the right thingy, text, I can put Don,
Is that this one? Oh,
Lee. Oops.
Yeah, 'cause you were in the smallest one, weren't you, Gil?
yeah.
Oh, fuck the edit that.
There we go. That'll do.
That's on.
Don, Lee, and Boris. Okay, good. Yep. Yeah. So there you go. You've all got your places. So yeah, Gil, you're not too far away. You can see Don and Boris's accommodation. You can see the light inside from the fire, and then down the road is just pitch black. You can hear the rain steadily drumming on the leaves of the forest around the area. You can hear a distant rumble of thunder, although miles away. And the wind has picked up slightly, and the rain's been quite well driven. It's not a pleasant night. It's dark, cold, wet, miserable Scotland.
Are there like any umbrellas in the lobby area, or is it just kind of like?
Unfortunately, there was only one, and Moira took it with her when she went to see Jackson and Helen to their accommodation, and it's not been returned.
Well, I'm only over there, like so. Good luck getting dry to your house. You're like up there, right?
As far as I'm aware, she says all the way around. I'm wondering if I need to take this road down here, or if I can just cut across. I don't know. What does it look like? I can barely see it. No, it's probably not a good idea. I think I'll just
Fuck that, man. Stay on
I'll
the
take
road.
a road round. Probably a good idea. Right.
Yeah.
Well, go get yourself. If you're cold, go get yourself a good hot shower before you go to bed. Then.
Aye, will do, man. All right. Good night.
Night.
I'll head out towards the house.
You walk around to Gil's house and you go in. Again, nicely appointed place, similar to the one I described earlier. You've got a roaring fire in the hearth, an icebox, you've got wood-fired stove, there are a few candles around, box of matches. It's lovely and warm. Walking in is drying you immediately and cheering your spirits. Outside, miserable, cold, wet. Inside, everything is warm, well appointed, smells clean and fresh. Roll me, same as I asked Jay to roll earlier, which I've now forgotten. Wits plus streetwise, I think.
Composure.
Oh, it was composure. Okay, wits plus composure, then, please.
Composure.
It's slightly darker than it was. Oh, it doesn't matter, you've made it.
Nice.
So, yeah, you notice similar things. There's some repairs to the plaster in a couple of places. Roll me a intelligence plus firearms, please.
Intelligence plus firearms.
Minus one.
Minus one.
Yes, sorry, minus one.
Oh, I've got 3 in firearms. Okay, that's not going to help, is it?
Yeah,
That's difficulty to see how
it's the
well
difficulty.
Oh, right, okay. So minus
So
1.
you wits plus firearms, yeah.
1
Yeah.
success.
Okay. Some of the repairs in the plaster you could swear were bullet holes.
Jesus.
They're very well done. You know, the repairs are pretty much perfect, but there's
I've
like
seen
a
that
spray
before.
of 3 holes in the wall. I mean, a couple of them are quite neat. One of them looks a little messy, and it's probably the only reason that you noticed it at all. But yeah, the wall alongside the stairs seems to have a couple of bullet holes in it. Or has had.
I'll go around the house and make sure first the back door or front door is locked and any windows that have curtains on, I'll keep them all closed. And all the windows closed too. Like I'm just doing like a check, like an old woman check.
Unlike the visitor centre, everything here locks perfectly. Everything seems to be in good order and well repaired, if not necessarily matching. The curtains are closed. You feel secure and locked in. All your windows are locked. You double check. They've got little keys that you can lock them with. You lock them all somewhat paranoidly.
Yep.
Go around and make sure that everything that can be closed is closed. The upper floors are very dark, and you have to make your way around with your torch. But, you know, it's warm and comfortable, which is nice.
And to end it all, I'll look out the window that'll like lead out towards outside, like the very front of the house, like as the last kind of paranoid check. It's like, anybody there? Is that weird fucking moving chair gonna come get me?
I would like you can have wits plus composure or survival, whichever is higher, and you can add your paranoia to it.
Oh, nice. Extra dice plus 1. Quick. 2 successes.
Just let me check where you are. Gil, you're there. Right, okay. You do a last check out of the front of the house that actually looks out towards the unfinished construction over a small pathway finished in pebbles that leads off the park. There, in between here and there are some scraggly trees that look as if they've tried to be pruned into nice shapes, but do look a little crooked. And perhaps, maybe it's your paranoia speaking, but they seem a little bit like hands reaching out of the floor in the darkness, like fingers protruding from the dirt, wizened and crippled. Probably a paranoia speaking. And then something moves amongst the trees.
Close the curtain. Fuck. So I like plant myself in front of the fire and remove my gun and just like, it seems to be like almost like an OCD kind of check to make sure like all the bullets are kind of there. Like I have 6, I have exactly 6. Just check again, empty them all out, 6. Empty again, 6. Empty again, 6. Kind of like a calming thing.
As you're doing this, you hear a noise from the back of the house. Something sounds as if it's walking on the decking.
Fucking hell. Like, I make sure all my handgun bullets are back in there again, and I actually just hold it out and like at my side and just kind of like walk towards the back area of the house. All the curtains are closed. Is it like, does it sound like something's walking out there right where I am?
Sounds pretty close, and it's not human footsteps. It sounds animal, scratchy.
I'll just kind of like very gingerly, if I can, peek out with like there's like no light from me, just like see if I can look through this little bit of a curtain.
Right, as you peek out, there's a branch swaying outside the window, like throwing leaves across your vision. But something large, maybe like 4.5, 5 feet at the shoulder, bolts into the woods.
Did it look like a bear or anything? Or was it like thinner than that?
I would like a wits plus survival, please. If you don't have it, that's unlucky.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
All the talk of wolves earlier in the evening, you talked a little over with your friends and they shared a little. That was a big wolf. A big wolf.
Right. I am going to run to the front of the door of the house, open the lock, close the door behind me, lock it, and start heading towards Dawn's house.
And you're heading for Don's.
Yep.
Okay. Right.
It's like at a run.
Which will take us to Henri. You are making your way around the road, are you not?
I had completely forgotten to go back and get me whiskey.
Oh.
So I had to go back to the main house and sneaking around, just trying to see if I can find where I put it. Somewhere around here, wasn't it, with a cloth over it?
Yeah, that's right. You're behind the
there,
reception.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, Happy Days got it.
Yeah, you got it. No problem. The doors to the supermarket buzz open.
For fuck's sake. She really needs to get that fixed. Something wrong with that. Probably them kids running in and out all the time.
You hear footsteps upstairs.
She is still awake then. Nah, another night.
Something heavy scrapes across the floor upstairs.
Alright. Jesus. What's she doing? Moving her furniture up there? It's not the time for moving that around there, love. Well, I think it's probably a good time for me to get to my bed, get a wee bit of rest.
The doors buzz closed
Get ready
at the
for
far
the
end
next
of the hall.
one.
Okay, you head out. And just as you head out into the darkness, your phone flickers and gives out. Phone's flat. Shit.
Sick. You see these blood fucking iPhones? It's the worst mistake of my life. Getting one of these.
100% 5 hours ago.
Jesus.
But you see a light dashing down the road towards you.
What the fuck? Hello?
Gil, you hear this in the darkness.
Hello?
Holy fuck! Jesus! Oh, Henry, hello.
Oh, Gil, is that you?
There's a fucking wolf out my back.
What? You in
A fucking horrible herd.
Oh, right.
As if
Oh,
on
Jesus,
cue.
I thought you were in there with a bestiality or something.
See? Fucking...
Sounds miles away.
You need to calm yourself there, lad. Hey, that's still way off in the distance. Hey.
Oh, I fucking know what I seen. It was out my back. You don't mistake seeing something that fucking large out your back.
Aye, well, you know, you've seen
He's
a few
slurring
things
his
tonight.
words slightly.
Yeah.
Look, let's... You need a good sleep, I think. Or probably some coffee or something. But that's enough for tonight. You're not getting any more.
No, fuck, I'm
We'll
done.
take you back. We'll take you back. I'm gonna walk him back, or kind of gesture towards heading back to his place.
Do you go?
I'll concede.
Okay.
Might be a paranoia. I've seen
Using-
things before.
Using Gil's phone, you manage to find Gil's front door, left open. You think you closed it
I-
as you left?
No, I wouldn't have. Did I lock that? Could have sworn I locked that.
Pure intelligence check, and you can have a -1 to it because you were quite panicked as you left.
Yep. So, make sure. I wish it like unticked what you last rolled because I have to keep
Yeah.
scrolling
Yeah,
down
that
to make
would
sure.
be great, yeah.
It's
Agreed.
just if I had a larger monitor, I
It's-
could actually see the entire thing. Where I
Yeah,
can
it's
have to
some
scroll down.
feedback that I've heard from other people as well. Yeah, I was looking at. Anyway, carry on. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can't remember. Maybe you did leave it open. I mean, you weren't in the best frame of mind, and you have had some drinks. So
Yeah.
Is everything okay there, lad? It's
I
probably
don't
not a
know
good
what this-
idea. Oh, it's not a good idea leaving this open late at night, you know.
No,
Especially if you are worried about wolves and stuff like that, because you know they could get in quite easily.
mate, those fucking.
you've as you're wandering through the door, you feel a bit of a chill. Maybe some of it's got in. The fire's still roaring away, but you've left the door open. So
I see, because you said that, I'm gonna be fucking worried all night. Come with me to make sure no wolves in my house, alright?
Hey, hold on a sec there, lad. You know, it's, I know we've had a few drinks, and it's been a good night so far, but I'm okay, I don't need no coffee.
Don't want no fucking. No! There could be a fucking wolf in my house, mate.
A wolf in your... What?
Yeah,
For fuck's sake.
You're the one that
alright.
said it.
No, that's...
No, you said it.
Oh, there's a bell ringing in. Oh.
okay. Right. I'll go in, I'll take a look, we'll see what there is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gil has the light, and most
You
of the
go
building's
first.
dark.
Go in and I'll close the door behind us.
The
No, these
door
lights
seems to-
working either.
The door seems to slam slightly. It makes you jump.
Ooh, fuck. Oh.
Stronger than you thought you were.
Henri, you're quite impressed with the building. It's really quite sweet in here. Everything's really high quality. It's nicely laid out. The curtains are heavy, thick, and well made. The furniture's comfortable and leather, and the fireplace is huge, full of like burning logs. The slight woody smell to the air complements the homely feel that the burning fire gives. It is a little cooler than you'd expect, but then the door's been left open for a while, so you follow this idiot around the house with his torch for a bit. But nothing turns up. It's really nice. And roll me a wits plus composure check, -1, because you're not looking for bullet holes, you're looking for wolves.
Mm.
Yeah, some things stand out as odd in here, though. You know, some of the furniture doesn't quite match. And a wits plus firearms -1, please. Three bullet holes have once decorated this wall like those stupid little porcelain ducks. Dup, 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 in a ladder up the wall, about head height, next to the stairs as you're going up.
Do you notice anything weird in here?
The lack of a wolf?
I don't mean weird like that. I mean, does anything look a little odd to you?
Oh yeah, there's the fucking holes in the wall. Well,
Aye.
used to be like a gun or something.
They've
Bullet.
been well repaired,
Mm.
but one of them looks as if the bullet probably took out a big chunk of plaster with it.
That's what I pointed
I
out,
think
'cause that's the one I noticed. That one.
Aye.
Look, you can see there, if like we're trying to repair it.
Well, I didn't hear about any problems up here, so I mean, it could be if your man there, Don, was on about his hunting and shit. That it's possible there could have been somebody up here with a gun, and anything could have happened, especially if it's a free bar.
I suppose it could be arrow holes. It's possible.
Good point. Well, there doesn't seem to be a wolf in here, so.
Yeah, you guys are both pretty familiar with bullet holes, however. It's a long shot.
Yeah.
Well, it does look like some of the furniture's been changed over here as well.
Yeah, the table in the living room in here looks as if it's been made from chipboard. And then the cloth has been put back over it.
But cheaper than the rest of it. It looks a wee bit.
Have you seen the fridge yet? It's a fucking block of ice.
There is literally a metal box in the kitchen with a block of ice in the top and the food and drink in the bottom.
Is that the money bar?
There's no food in there. There are a few bottles of drink. Yes, it's the minibar and the fridge.
Haha, what you got there, lad?
Well, no, look at the point. Like there's a fucking microwave and an oven, and there's an ice box with a literal. It's an ice box.
Your paranoia tugs at you. You haven't finished clearing the house yet. There could be a wolf in here.
I'll start emptying. Like I'll look in the cupboards in the fucking kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen seems clear.
I'll check down here in this fridge. They could have sneaked in there.
There are about 8
good
different
idea.
bottles of cheap spirits and a little tiny can of Coke. It's very cute.
Like a little tiny thin one.
Fuck?
You want those ones?
You alright if I take one of these?
I go ahead, man. I'm
2 or 3 of them.
enough. Yeah,
Aye.
fuck it.
Aye,
I'm
happy
not
days.
have enough more to drink
Get
now.
on. Get on. I'm gonna stuff a couple in my pockets.
Fuck!
That one sounded a bit closer. I mean,
Quick! At the back, look!
close.
It could be at the back. I'll drive
hold
him
on,
to the
hold
back
on.
garden.
Hold on,
Not
hold on.
outside, but...
Jesus.
You can both roll wits plus survival if you have it, or wits plus composure if you don't. If you're rolling wits plus composure, please have a -2. It is raining and dark.
What was the first one? Wits and...
Wits plus survival if
Wits
you
plus
have survival.
Ah, right.
If you don't have any survival, wits plus composure with a -2.
I may as well do what's... Either way, it's the same, gonna be the same result.
No, it's not, because -1 for survival if you don't have it.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's good. Henri,
Yeah.
we'll do that one then. Foot. Oh, we didn't do -2, so that's 0 successes then. Technically.
no, it's not. No, because I'll give you it. You both notice it.
Right. Oh, my bad.
You've got to take the dice off rather than the successes off.
my bad.
Yeah, but it's all right. The
You
chances
would've
are you
rolled
would have
one.
lost on average you would have lost a success. So we'll go with that. Standing out in the woods, I mean it's quite thick woods, spidery trees reaching up to the sky, low branches swinging in the rain. There's rain running down the plate windows, and the deck is reflecting some of the light from the building. But you can see something in the woods, maybe about 4 or 5 feet tall. Could be a wolf. It looks in your direction, and its eyes seem to glow in the light.
I turn around. Look! What's it?
Definitely a wolf.
Look!
It just seems to
It
stare.
is a bit close.
Fucking don't
Make
you!
out its form exactly,
It's fucking huge!
and it's looking at you.
How far away is it again from me right now?
Maybe about 50 feet out into the woods. I mean, there's about 30 feet of garden. When I say garden, it's like half of it's decking, and then there's like a shorn area that's just been. It's about as wide as a sit-on mower, and then after that, it becomes thick forest quite quickly.
And it's just stood there staring at us.
It's about 20 feet beyond that in the woods, between the trees. Something about 4 feet tall, 2 glowing eyes.
Is there any pots and pans around here, lad?
Oh, so it's a wee bit harder than that. Can I open the door really quickly? Like, is it like a sliding glass door?
It's
or?
a sliding glass door,
like-
and you can open it. You try, and it's locked, but you've got your key.
Yeah, I unlock it, and I like slowly slide the door open, and to also like just making sure I can see the eyes of the wolf to see if it's able, like, if it's reacting to be open the door or not.
Oh, excuse me 1 second. The wife
Okay,
is home.
sorry, man.
So it'll take 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Is that what that alarm was?
So if you want a break,
Yes,
do
tea
feel
break
very
sounds
sick,
good.
because that will be 2 minutes. I won't be longer than 9 o'clock though. So
Okay,
Sure.
get back. Pee break.
This is sufficiently creepy, I believe.
I'm just waiting for like a gunshot to be fired so I can be like, what the fuck, guns? Rather than, oh, I do love chess. Hot chocolate.
Oh, this is your character.
Yeah, that's
You made
true,
him-
yeah.
You made him like Mr. Rogers.
Weedy,
Like,
nerdy, yeah.
Yeah, but hold on, it's still those guys that are the kinkiest fuckers, so, you know, hey, chess could be a euphemism.
Yeah, we're
no,
actually
no.
just...
He has a dungeon. He has a sex dungeon at home.
Yeah, we
Letting
can't
his wife
quite...
do it, like,
Can't quite take it with us though.
He's the king and she's the queen.
no.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
No, she's the dom and he's the gimp.
The gimp, yeah.
What, he's got a limp?
No, a gimp. That's sort of a. You know the people who dress up like as ponies and basically the sub of the subs.
People that dress up as ponies or furries.
Pony. No, like a leather bound people.
That would
You know
be...
those
In
like
S&M
full...
play. In S&M
Yeah.
play.
I like the way he's kind of like trying to grasp for this, but...
So those people are gimps.
You're
You
not
have
supposed to
actually
say
watched. If you watched a Family Guy when Chris became Quagmire's assistant.
Assistant.
That's
yeah,
when
it's
you
in there.
get- Yeah, that's
Somebody-
when gimps. There's a gimp there.
What's this about gimps?
Because Chris takes his gimp out for a walk, and then feeds him carrots.
They're saying that Jackson is a sub and Helen is a dom, but I'm like a sub.
Oh, okay.
A gimp.
You know, while you guys are off fighting wolves and ghosts and things, we're just playing chess.
Yeah. You got the red hot poker.
Check. Mate.
Check. Mate.
King Thomas. Got my piece out of the board. Oh yeah.
Like, despite the fact that you roll up like a different type of character, there's still Narman in there. I'm still seeing Narman.
Really?
I really am. Just the paranoid kind of.
Oh, I was kind
Sort
of
of
like have
deal.
a different kind of character. Damn.
The
That's
whole,
frustrating.
yeah.
He's
No,
not
it's-
macho enough yet. That's the point. Narman is quite wimpy. This guy is supposed to be a bit tougher. Maybe it'll come up later. He's paranoid, but he's supposed to be tough.
Mm.
I'm
Supposed
surprised
to
you haven't shot stuff yet. I'm surprised you haven't
Oh,
shot. I'm quite
Tell me
yeah.
what
I'm
you
quite
meant.
surprised you haven't
Shot
just
everything.
like fired in the woods in general. Just cause.
Martin,
Heads.
can't hear you,
headset.
Martin.
Muted.
That's what the
Thank
buzzy
you.
noise was.
There we
There
go.
Yeah, there's like street tough, and there's like creepy, weird shit tough.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's able to handle gangs and drug dealing and talking to people and persuading, but where there's a fucking wolf.
Fucking wolves.
And I'm sorry, Jay.
It's alright, no, it's fine, I don't mind. No, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
We're discussing just what he's getting up to.
Well, you know, there's a reason you have a wife.
You don't want to go back there.
Right. So everyone ready to continue? We've got a
Yeah.
couple of minutes. Everyone lubricate? Okay. So you stood in the dark. You can hear the fire crackling behind you. The wood smoke filling the air, mixing with polish and a somewhat chemical smell that you think might be paint. Old, dried paint. You're just unlocking the plate glass doors, looking out into the darkened, wet, miserable forest, where the only points of light are two reflective yellow points about 50 feet from you, about 4 feet from the floor. They blink as you open the door.
Jesus, that looks like a big one.
I like half step outside and I take out my gun and I just hold it sideways.
Hey, what are you doing?
You not seen the fucking size of it?
Aye, what are you doing with a gun?
You hear through the noise of the rain a deep, rumbling growl.
Here, put that. You're gonna fucking here. Give me that.
No, fuck off you.
No, you.
Oh, fuck's
Down.
sake.
Put
I'll
down.
go back in the door and close
Put
it.
the gun down.
I put
Right.
in my pants again.
You got. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. With bullet holes in the wall like that. It's people like you that come up here and you get drunk and you just fucking pull out a gun.
There's
and
a
you just start
fucking
shooting.
wolf. Should you shut up my paranoia? The fucking thing!
There's
As you
there's
look
a-
back out into the woods, there's nothing there now.
It's gone. Look, see. You scared it off. It's probably with your
I
fucking
scared
cologne.
it off for you fucking
Aye.
kidding me. Scaring me off.
Aye, it scared you to bed. Go to sleep. Jesus Christ, man. Pull yourself together, will you?
I want to fucking sleep with that out there.
Is there bullets in them guns?
No, it's fucking blanks.
Blanks?
I was gonna scare it off.
What the fuck are you doing? Why did you bring a
Are
gun?
you telling the truth there?
I am
Okay.
lying.
In that case, you can make a manipulation plus subterfuge roll, please. And Tom, if you would like to make a composure plus subterfuge roll.
You won success.
You believe him? It's blanks.
I heard there was wolves, and I thought, like, you know, one of those shitty little guns they use for horse racing.
Well, you won't just scare off the wolves. You'll scare off everybody around the area.
Good.
Look, if you see something out there in the dark, go and get some pots and pans out of that kitchen. Go out, start banging them. Bang them like a fucking madman. And you know what it's like to be a madman. You seem like a madman.
Fuck off! You're hearing that too.
That was pretty
Aye.
close. That was really close.
Right, how long? Let me go grab something here. I'm going to wander off the kitchen and see if there are any.
Close the curtain again.
As you're heading towards the kitchen, something tries the front door. Paranoid locks it behind him,
Yep.
but the door handle goes down and then clicks back up again.
Do I hear that?
You hear something, but you are being ranted at right now by Henri,
Yeah.
so you're not sure what.
Right, I've got some pots and pans here. Right,
Henri, you saw this, however.
I did see it.
You saw the handle go down as you walked out of the back into the living area, and you saw it shoot back up, and the door didn't open.
It's cold out here, guys.
Fuck off.
Right,
It's quite pleasant and warm. The fire's crackling. Smell the smoke just slightly. The chimneys are good.
okay.
The only sound is the crackling of the fire.
Did you get the end pots?
Hold on, did you not see that? Did you not see the door there?
What?
Yeah.
I come out of the kitchen.
What's plus composure? No
Really?
minus. 'Cause yeah, yes, please. It's been pointed out to you.
Oh, okay, that's plus composure. Just make sure I didn't leave anything ticked.
You heard the click as he was talking to you. You dismissed it, but you heard something.
What, there was like a noise. Was that you like trying? What was it?
Oh, I can see that door handle going down. Did you
Fuck
lock the
off.
door?
If you're fucking with me.
Hold on. Oh, hold on a sec. Pull yourself together, man. Did you lock that door?
Aye.
Right, hold on a sec. And I'm gonna reach kind of round the back underneath the jacket, and I'm gonna pull out mine.
Your gun?
Yeah.
You've got
He's got a 38 special under his jacket, like highly illegal and somewhat more powerful than yours.
Yeah.
If this was a pissing contest, you'd be pissing yourself.
Yep.
Look, here. Go over to the door there for a second. Right?
Fuck off, me. Go over to the door.
No, look, fucking, just do what I'm fucking telling you, right? I'm gonna stand here. Hold on a sec, right? I'm gonna stand here. Right? I'm looking at the front door. You go behind the door, grab the handle, turn it slowly, and open the door. I'm gonna see what's out there, okay?
Alright. If you kill Moira, go over to the door and I very quietly attempt to unlock it without making a noise, but of course it does like to click.
Dexterity plus larceny, please.
Dexterity.
Dio's gonna die.
We are, we're fucked, man. Oh, there's larceny. I've got 2 big ticks.
You got what?
2 big ticks.
I heard tits.
Silently and quickly, the door is unlocked. You swing it open. Rain blows in.
I'm like behind the door, so I'm kind of like, it's like open about like 3/4 of the way.
Dark outside.
Can you get your phone out there again a second, will you? And go and turn the light on.
Fuck!
And,
I'll turn the light on the torch and just like put my hand around the corner of the door a little bit.
As you do, you can see the battery's quite low. Light's fine. It shines out into the darkness. It doesn't seem to penetrate very far. It's like true black wilderness darkness out here. The only light would be the stars, only the rain and the clouds. It doesn't get very far. It just looks black out there. There's more reflection off the raindrops than there is of anything else.
I'm gonna walk closer to the door and I'm gonna take the phone from him at the same time and do like the whole kind of hands over thing with the light out front and the gun in the other hand. I'm gonna kind of step out and looking around me.
Wits plus firearms. You acquit yourself quite professionally, swinging the gun, covering your blind spots. Doesn't seem to be anything there. It's dark, it's wet, it's raining. Maybe you're seeing things.
Hello?
Your voice seems to get eaten by the darkness. The sound of the rain drowns it out completely.
I can't see anybody out here.
Pitch
Nobody's
black. You can't even see the other building now. Before you could see the lights from the fire.
All right. Right. Okay. So I just basically come back in and close the door again. Right. So
Gil locks it hurriedly behind you.
Yep.
if there's a wolf out there, it's probably a bit too dangerous for me to be going back to my place. So, and if they've figured out how to push that lockdown, locked or not, if they've figured out how to push that door down, we best stop that from happening. So, gonna go over and grab like a chair, and kind of stick the edge up just underneath the door handle to stop it from pushing down.
As you're doing so, you notice one of the chairs at the table has had one of the slats on the back repaired. They're all made of really quite fine wood, so you think these are probably a polished pine. They're quite high backs, so you'd have to lean it quite a bit. And one of the top bars looks as if it's been snapped clean in two, and then has been sawed and repaired. It fits reasonably well, but has got a little bit of give side to side where the bit's been removed from the middle.
Right. Wonder if she got this in the second-hand shop. Doesn't
Seems to
much
match the others. It's just been repaired.
Aye. Well, okay. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to get stuck in here for tonight. Do you want to flip a coin for the bed?
There
Yep.
are sufficient beds for both of you. It may be a smaller place, but there is still enough to sleep for. And one of the areas, like in the other buildings, that sleeps two, is actually close-offable. So there's 2 double beds and 2 single beds in total in the building.
Are they all are any beds in the same room, or are they all like?
No, they're all separate. One of the double beds is in its own separated area. It looks like it's probably going to the cheapest accommodation here, and makes up a smaller part of the building. There is no real amenities with it other than an ensuite, and it's through the back, unlike the rest of the building, which all seems quite contained. The master bedroom's downstairs. The the 2 single beds are upstairs.
Right, idea. I'm not sleeping alone. I'm not in the gay way. I don't like a cuddle, but let's put one of the beds in the other bedroom, because I don't feel fucking safe sleeping my own, or someone trying to open the door, wolf or not, and there's a fucking 5-foot thing out there about to eat me.
Oh, I don't really feel safe for you about anyway, especially that fucking gun. Give me that gun.
Fuck off with a gun. No, you've got fucking the bigger one. Look at the fucking size of that. You're worried about me, Mr. fucking gun?
I'm worried about you waking everybody else up around here. Fucking freaking everybody out with your blanks. Hold on. Let me take a look.
Do you let him have a look at your gun?
No, he's not letting him have a look at my gun.
Go and show me those blanks.
No, fuck off, it's mine. No, it's my protection. It's back down my trousers, a bit more like down at my underwear more than anything.
You've got sufficient firearms to recognise the difference between a starting pistol and a genuine firearm, and you're suspicious, but maybe it's been converted. I mean, a lot have been, converted.
Well, blanks would still be blanks.
If you ever got a look at the shells, then you would know exactly what it was. However, he's not letting you break it open. It's a revolver. Oh no, it's not. It's an automatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's definitely for nothing to see.
Right. Well, just be careful you don't blow your fucking balls off there.
No worries, the safety's on. It's a blank anyway.
It doesn't matter. At that range, it would still do you some serious damage.
Oh.
Have you actually ever used one of these before?
You guys spend the remainder of the evening somewhat nervously discussing the ability to blow one another's balls off. The occasional howl in the darkness seems further away. The drumming of the rain on the windows and the crackling of the fire is the only real accompaniment to your conversation. And at times it seems like you're talking just to fill the silence. How do you arrange sleeping for the night?
He's going to sleep. I'm going to stay awake. I don't trust him with that gun.
Okay.
We're going to drag one of the beds into the other bedroom, so that we're going to be upstairs with the 2 single beds in one bedroom.
Okay.
I'm used to pulling all-nighters. I'll be alright.
The single beds are musty. They're not pleasant to sleep in because they smell. However, you have had a few, and as soon as the adrenaline wears off, you nod off. You're just gone dead to the world.
Also, there's a chair up against the door handle.
In the bedroom?
Yeah. And the window was locked, and if not, everything about it, I've tried everything.
The child's bedroom, just like in the other building, has a very small window, so you feel a bit safer in here.
Yeah. That's it.
Henri, you sit on the end of the bed, gun in hand, bottle in the other, glaring at the door, watching the handle, daring it to move.
Yeah,
Ain't my
pretty much.
day, bitch.
Yeah.
Right. So, coming over to Mr. Hyde. Mr. and Mrs. Hyde, I should say.
That's got to be the fifth game in a row you've won. What are you doing to me, Hal?
You've played a few games, lost rather a lot of them. The cookies from the first box have been heartily polished off, but Helen does offer the second box. But you've had your fill of cookies, especially in finger food and things like that. And so you're turning in for the night. You were almost surprised that the shower is hot as you head to bed. Your wife showers first while you tidy away the stuff and somewhat neatly wash up in the cold water that's available from the taps and put the things you've used to one side. As you head upstairs, because which bedroom are you sleeping in?
Probably the one with like the nicest looking bed.
Okay, I'll take it back. You're downstairs.
Yeah, which would have been the master bedroom. Yeah, the other ones it seemed a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're downstairs at the front. It's a well decked out room, and Helen's just like twitching the curtains and looking out into the darkness.
Is everything okay, honey?
Yeah, just tricks of the light, I suppose.
Rain's still going. It sounds like.
Yeah, let's hope he's packed in by tomorrow, and Moira won't be doing much walking.
No.
Speaking of Moira, I didn't see her. She took that umbrella with her, and she never brought it back. You don't suppose she got lost in the dark, do you?
I would have thought she knew her way around the place. He has.
Yeah.
He has night vision. Like she has the goggles and the. No. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe totally like the Predator.
Yeah.
That seems to worry her more than comfort. She goes over and huddles down underneath the covers. Wolves.
I'm half expecting you to say, I'm sort of turn off the nightlight and read a bit before I go to bed. Just sort of like.
Yeah, I probably would. I was reading something on the bus, so I would have stayed up for maybe like half an hour or so.
The lamp in here is actually like a kerosene lamp, and you've lit it with one of the few remaining matches. It was the one that Helen was using to show herself around the house. She seems to be quite enjoying this whole camping vibe that's going on, and has been talking to you about it during the night. Anything in particular you'd like to do?
I'll maybe just sort of like go out and just like look horribly at the rain and just sort of think, why did she convince me to go out on this? Could have been so much nicer somewhere else, but rain.
Are you looking out the bedroom windows or one of the others?
Like the way that leads out into the front of the house.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the front doors and everything.
Now, with this being quite a big place,
draw a little smiley face on the window in the condensation.
The windows are actually really good quality, and there's no condensation on them. The inside is lovely and warm, but the windows are double glazed, no problem. There's definitely no condensation here. And as you look out, you're looking out over the green area at the other side of the road. Yeah, you don't remember there being a tree in the middle of that field, but there's something stood upright in it.
Sure, it's appear a bit. It's probably nothing. It's just maybe it's Moira. She's found her way back to the. Something.
Could be a person. Now you come to think about it. Yeah, and it does. Yeah, do me a wits plus composure, please. -1 because it's chucking it down.
Yep. Wits and composure. Boof. -1. You said.
Please.
Okay. 2 success.
Ooh, well done. Yeah, now you come to think about it, it could even be a woman. It's dark, and the only light you've got is coming from the house across the way.
Yeah.
But it does seem to outline her reasonably with adapted your night visions has come on.
Does it look much like Moira? Does it look like anybody I've seen already?
Doesn't look anything like Moira. Whoever this is has got an hourglass figure.
All right.
You look away for a second and look back. It's gone.
It's nothing. Coco's gone to my head or something. Close the blinds and the curtains and everything.
As you're doing so, you hear a sound. It starts off as what you think is a wolf, but all you hear very, very softly is.
Fuck! Was that a laugh?
It's a very soft laugh. You think might be a laugh.
Look over at Helen. God, she's so beautiful.
Helen didn't hear it.
No.
Helen's turned over and has tucked herself in very heavily under the covers.
Look, just open up the curtains a bit.
I get the shivers.
You look out into the darkness. Nothing there. Rain dribbles down the window. You can hear the hissing of the kerosene lamp behind
What's that? Scamper off, turn off the kerosene lamp, and then just start getting into bed. Just nothing. It's brain overworking. Too much.
One
People, too
thing
many people.
you notice as you're going to bed, the plugs aren't charging your phone.
These thing. Get out of bed, find a charger, make sure it's fitting right, plug it in.
No power.
Oh come on! I had you charge. Does Helen has a phone? I'll maybe just go and check hers, and we just see how hers is doing.
Yeah, Helen has a phone. It's quite a primitive thing, and yeah, it's quite. It's
She
not a
just
touch-
wanted it for text and
It's-
calls. That's it.
It's
She
not a
doesn't need
touch
anything.
screen.
Yeah.
And it's usually in her purse, but it's.
Oh, she's
there.
she's not got it out to like charge it or anything.
Oh no!
fair enough.
Those things last forever.
Yeah, they last forever to those things.
That's true, yeah. I'll maybe just go around and see if there's any other of these sockets that are working, giving any power. Just like put it in one. Oh, another one.
Oh, good.
Just test a couple.
But as you are going round, you do notice Helen's phone on the floor in the living room,
What, just like laying in the middle of the floor?
just lying in the middle of the floor.
I don't remember that being there. I've been down, pick it up.
You literally don't remember that being there. You would have been looking at that exact spot.
Yeah, we
when
would
you were
just
playing
say
Go.
she would have had it over by the. Pick it up and sort of just like push the on button or like activate it if there's anything.
Yeah, you hold the on button for a few seconds and it turns on, and there's no service. But other than that, it seems fine.
Turn it off and then go put it on the desk. Put it on one of the desks or sideboards or something.
You again, this time quite clearly hear, probably outside, it's got to be over the rain, a very soft, feminine laughter.
Go over and just sort of peek open, trying to look out the. Or is there like a door on the like a window on the door?
The door itself does have windows down each side. However, it is frosted glass with spiral patterns in. The door itself does have a little peephole in it.
Oh, look through the peephole.
You look through the peephole. You can't. You can't see anything. Not like rain, but just nothing. It's black. And then whatever was looking through from the other side moves its head away, and you can see out into the rain.
Jimmy, what are you doing?
The fuck?
Fuck
Okay, I'm going to unlock the door. Not particularly slow, not particularly like stealthy or anything. Just
Okay. The door clicks
I'll
up.
just say something. Hello, Moira.
You look outside.
Chelsea. Well, this is before I've opened the door. I'm going to try and say something.
You're trying
Moira, Chelsea. Hello? Who's there? We're just going to bed. We're just going to bed. Anything you need? Then unlock the door and sort of swing it open, like peek my head around the corner, very slowly. Hello? Is everything
cold.
okay?
Drafty and raining. You can see the trees swaying in the strong wind. You can hear the water bouncing off the building, the slate above you, and off the leaves. You can hear the rain, the wind, the trees, and...
Alright, okay, that's enough of that. Close the door, lock it, scatter back into bed, under the covers. Stuff like that.
Honey?
Stuff like that.
Honey,
Everything,
you okay?
everything's fine. I think there's some noise or something. Maybe the trees
Helen
are the.
snuggles closer to you.
Everything's fine. I'm sure it's just
This place
overactive
is
imagination.
creepy.
It's there's a vibe of something. It's me
Well,
and the outside.
Maybe it's just new place. It's dark and rainy and
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. It's just overactive imagination. I shouldn't
What's
have
the
been
matter?
Shouldn't have been reading Stephen King.
yeah. I told you to lay off those.
It's,
The famous 5 really is much better.
well, maybe give that a go tomorrow night. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
I'm sure everything's fine. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been a nice night.
your phone was on the floor. Did you?
What?
Yeah, I couldn't get any power charging on my phone, and I was just looking around to see if there was any other sockets, and yours was laying in the middle of the floor.
She snuggles a bit closer to you. No, I left it in my handbag. Is the door locked?
Yeah, it should be. I think.
Good.
Yeah.
She pulls the covers up around you both.
Okay. Good night.
Night. Things will look better in the morning.
I hope so. I kiss her forehead. And I go to sleep and wake up the next morning happy and fine.
Right, yes. The next morning should dawn. We have half an hour before we finish. Do you want me to continue and start the next section, or do you want
it's entirely
to
up to
leave
you.
it there?
If you think we'll get a reasonable amount of stuff done in half an hour, or
we'll still get a bit done.
Yeah, might as well.
It's a convenient stopping spot, is that? So I will give you the opportunity. If you don't want to use it, we shall carry on quite happily.
yeah,
So-
let's go ahead.
Keep going till we're dead.
Don't say that.
It's about
You
5
don't-
minutes.
None of you wake up.
Oh, perverse foresight.
Yeah. Oh, that's very sad.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah. So, morning comes. For some of you, the night was quite restful. I'm looking at you, Mr. and Mrs. Hyde, who had a pleasant, uninterrupted evening. No worries. We go through to another house where we've got two gun-toting. Gil and Henri.
It's like the ebony
I've
to my
spent the night.
ivory.
Gil?
Irishman.
Yeah, Gil. Too well, but you don't look half so bad as Henri, who sat at the bottom of the other bed, big black bags under his eyes. His nose is slightly reddened. The bottle is now empty in his hand. And he just seems to be leaning slightly, and every now and again just sort of straightens himself back up again. He's still looking at the door. The 38 special. It's just drooping in his hand. Sometimes the barrel getting quite close to his leg, but then he picks it up and puts it back across his stomach. Morning, guys.
Look at him to try to see if he acknowledges that I'm awake as opposed to making a noise in case he tries to shoot me. It's like...
Morning. Ah! Bang!
Are you awake now then?
Morning! Did you
Is it?
not
Okay.
sleep?
The rain stopped during the night, but it's still cloudy, dim and overcast outside. Normally you would say it was just after dawn, but it's been just after dawn for quite a while. So it's probably just grey outside.
Oh, I thought it best probably not to sleep last night.
You may get a few hours since it's sunny now. You'll get some...
Oh, what time is it?
You look around the room and there's no clock in here. So you instinctively check your phone, but it's gone flat during the night.
Fuck. Is your phone alive? Mine's dead. I don't know what time it is.
Oh, mine died before I got back here last night.
What's the resources on the both of you?
Resources 3 dots.
There you go.
In which case, you also have a watch. You can
nice.
pick what type of watch. How about you, Henri? Resources?
Just checking. Where were my resources?
Gil, yours is
2
probably
dots.
right. Gil, yours is probably quite a status symbol. You know,
Oh yeah,
this-
just like
this-
a digital watch or something.
yeah.
now.
This is bling. You know,
Yeah.
this is a big chunky metal watch.
Yep.
And it says, "I have money." It also says, you know, "Don't mess with me." You
Also
know,
says I'm a
you,
douchebag.
you can
Yes.
dive to 1,000 feet with it, and yet it's never, ever gonna
Yep.
be diving ever. You know, it tells you the time in 6 different countries. There are handles for things you don't even know what to tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a beefy watch, and in fact, the only thing that pisses you off is that some of the proper fellas at the minute they're wearing these new smartwatches, but yours is, you know, money, so you're alright with that. Henri, do you want to watch?
Ah, sure. Ah.
Yeah, you've got to watch. It's all right. Maybe cost you 40 quid. You know, having seen Gills, you don't want to really shout about it. It tells the time. It's all good. You reckon it's about 7:30?
That's not bad there, lad. Where'd you get that?
Oh, you know, friends.
Friends.
Birthday present.
Oh, happy days. Oh no, I've seen a few of those kind of knocking about there. A few dodgy rip-offs, knockoffs there. But
Oh, no,
that definitely
proper
looks.
stuff.
No, that looks a job.
Oh, yeah.
That looks a job, alright.
You can go for intelligence plus larceny if you want to check it out.
Me or?
Me?
No. If Henri wants to have a close look at it, or you want to decide whether it's a fake or not, you can give it a go.
Yeah, well, I'll allow him to have a look. I like showed up like, no, it's proper stuff, man. Look.
Oh, aye.
So you know fuck all about watches. Might as well take his word for it. Looks pretty beefy. It's got handles for things you don't know what they do.
Yeah.
You still have that gun on you?
You slept with it under your pillow.
Yep.
Go and do me a favour, will you? Hey, that's been keeping me up all night. Go and put that gun away, please.
You've been the one sitting there with a fucking bottle of drink and a big pistol pointing at the door.
Well, you wanted me to keep you safe from wolves, didn't you?
Fair point. Aye. I'll go. I've already had like my handgun in like my trousers again, so it's like concealed.
Right.
Did you get changed or did you sleep in your clothes?
I slept in my clothes. I am a tramp. My clothes are downstairs. I did not take my bag up with me. I completely forgot.
I'm a wee bit tired, so I'm gonna close my eyes for about an hour. Now I'll get up and get a shower, and we'll go get that breakfast.
Aye, sounds good.
So you don't be
Kip.
don't be fucking shooting any wolves, right? Just
Here, if it's downstairs, I'm fucking shooting it. If you hear a gunshot down there, then it fucking got me. Otherwise, go get some sleep, alright?
I hear a gunshot. I hope they fuck the thing eat you. Right. When you sleep.
Right, so are you going to get into the fresh bed?
No, it's basically just the one I was sitting on. I'm just gonna kind of.
Yeah. So you just kick your shoes off, or are you going to stay boots on?
Boots on. Doesn't matter at this point.
Boots on, laying back on the bed. You're right, it doesn't. You're pretty much asleep in seconds. You've been up for like 20 hours at this point. It's getting a bit, yeah. And you've been drinking steadily for the past 8 or 9 of them. Sleep is very easy to come by. Gil, you're left virtually alone in the house as Henri slips into sleep ridiculously quickly.
I will unbolt the door. Well, unbolt. I'll remove the chair from the door and go downstairs to try to find my bag because I'm like immediately like, oh fuck, I've left my bag. What if the wolf has gotten it?
I have things in there.
Yep.
Yeah, your bag is nowhere to be seen. You can't find it.
Do I remember if I brought it with me?
You check a few places around. Roll intelligence. Just pure intelligence.
Let's see. Did I leave anything ticked? I did! Larceny. Go away, larceny.
No, you can't remember where you left it. It was a bit of a tense night last night. Maybe you left it in the visitor's centre.
Yeah, that wee girl fucking left it. Lazy bitch. Damn it. I'll go around and have a look at all the doors and to make sure there's no like signs of wolves.
No signs of wolves. All the doors seem locked and shut. But as you look around, you could have sworn that Henri brought something with him. Maybe he left his in the visitor centre too. Yeah.
And I'll go back to the back door of the kitchen, like the sliding door, to have a look outside to see where that wolf was.
It's a dim morning. The wind's still reasonably strong. Everything's wet outside, but the branches swing in the trees. You can hear the wind, but other than that, nothing seems out of the ordinary. The heat is somewhat going out of the room now. The fire's burnt down, and there are still
that's safe.
there are still glowing embers, and yeah, there's quite a big mound of ash there. Hopefully, someone's going to come in during the day and turn it into a fresh fire for you.
Okay, I will unlock the door and I will go outside for a quick smoke.
Okay, you head on out.
Mhm.
It's a fresh morning, which is the nicest way to describe it. Everything's wet. It's cold. Wind's blowing up from the loch with quite a chill on it, and you can smell certain like watery smell. It reminds you vaguely of the seaside, but not in that nice childhood memory kind of way. More in that docks kind of way. As it blows up from the valley below. You can see now you're outside through the woods that there are wisps of mist trailing through the trees. And you can actually see, as you look over towards the edge and that drops down into the valley, some of the ground mist is like flowing off and down the side into the valley. You can see from where you are right into the distance, and you can't quite tell where the mist ends and the cloud begins. It's quite a misty morning, but the trees seem to have sheltered the woods from most of it. Right, who's
I'll be done.
who's up next?
Depends really what time it is.
It's probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. You
Yeah,
can
bo-
get up early
boys-
if you wish.
Boys wakes up at that time.
Okay, Boris.
Boys wakes up at that time.
Yeah.
He wants to do a bit of because he didn't do it last night. He wants to do a bit of push-ups just to get ready for the morning.
Yep.
He's a bit musclehead, so he needs push-ups to wake up.
So you start your usual morning routine. You start working yourself. Thank you very much. You start working yourself. You hear some movement outside. You assume Dawn or Lee's up.
Yep. Yeah. Hello? Dawn?
No answer, but he may not have heard you.
Maybe it's that stupid kid. With the dog collar.
You heading
Like I
out?
said, I just last week I punched one of those types. I didn't give up. It was fun. That's him talking to himself a bit, just quietly, while doing push-ups, pull-ups, and shit like that.
That you, lad? You hear a shout through from the other room.
Yes, Dawn. I am here. Sort of open the door. He's sort of half naked. He doesn't have a shirt on just because he's working out.
Don's fully dressed. He's wearing like, I want to say combats, but it's not really combats. They're just like green trousers
Cameos.
with far too many
Camos.
pockets.
Cameo clothes for the country,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. He's wearing like a green t-shirt, some sort of body warmer, and over that some sort of webbing that has like arrows and things in it. And you can see he's left his crossbow on the table behind him, and it's like disassembled, the wires unwound, and there's like a pot of something you assume he's polishing it with, or maybe looking after the string with, sat on the table. He looks quite wide-eyed. You can smell burning, but not in the oh my god burning down kind of way, more in a wood on the stove kind of way. And you can also smell the wonderful morning smell of bitter coffee coming through from the other room. A mug of it steams on the table. The room's cooled off a bit since last night, and the fire is still burning. You can hear it crackling. It looks as if Don's massaged it back to life this morning. And he goes, "Hey, you want a cup of joe?"
If that means coffee, yes, I would like some.
Yeah, sorry, bud. Yeah, coffee. Here it comes. And he goes and makes you a coffee. Black, I'm afraid. There's no milk. Should have got some from the supermarket last night.
No problem, I like it black anyway.
Good stuff. Sugar?
Yes, please.
Sit down. Nothing unusual seems to have happened. You seem to have a pretty nice night, actually. As far as this holiday goes, things are
yes.
looking up.
Yes. If you are going hunting, I see you are preparing your crossbow. Do try to bring something back. We could use a little interesting meat.
I figure anything I catch, we can share, bud. What's more, while we're out today, I'm figuring maybe I can slip away, get some shots off. I don't figure Moira for the hunting type, if you know what I mean.
Yes, she does look a bit bookish.
Yeah. I remember she always seemed to have a nose either in the book or in the air. It doesn't change, I guess.
Yes, too.
Anything you'd like to do this morning?
Nothing specific. I'm just gonna sharpen my knife. And then
Okay.
head for breakfast or whatever.
Right, you while away the morning. Really pleasant. Lovely surroundings. You got yourself some hot coffee just the way you like it. Everything you need. Don lends you any tools that you might need. He seems kitted out. This guy seems to have pretty much everything from different grades of whetstone to like
Damn!
yeah, from different grades of whetstone to like small blacksmithing tools for making his own heads. This guy has brought more equipment than he has clothes. And then he says, "God, where is that boy? I better go wake him." As it's starting to get close to 9 o'clock, he heads upstairs.
Should I wait for you so we can go together to breakfast?
Yeah, I'll get him up and we'll head on over. Just a sec. He stomps his way upstairs. "Hey, did you hear Lee come in last night?" You hear shouted down from upstairs.
No, but I did have a drink or two.
"Yeah, me too. Doesn't look slept in, though." Don comes downstairs. "You better not have spent the night with that fucking Chelsea chick, I tell you."
Well,
God.
at least,
well.
At least he's safe.
Like father, like son, I guess. Come on, let's head on over. We can grab some snacks or something out of the supermarket. There was no food in the kitchen here, and I need something for breakfast before we go on a hike.
There should be some inside. We had
Yeah.
finger
Going
food
out
last
supermarket,
night and
right?
it was just to say hello. It will be very surprising to have no
Yeah.
food.
Maybe they
bread.
got some Pop-Tarts or Lupios or something. Let's go. Don heads on out. You head on out. You've had a reasonable morning. Food will be acquired before you get to the meeting, and all is well. In the meantime, in the hidehouse.
I can't remember. Did Moira say that breakfast was going to be made for us?
She said she'd probably have some breakfast ready for you, yeah.
Alright, fair enough. Yeah, that'll just be sort of lounging around in bed until we think that, maybe it'll be a time for breakfast or something. Maybe so wake up for a bit and then maybe like lounge in bed, get my phone and just flick through things. I don't remember getting the Wi-Fi password, so is it like...
Now you come to check it, there's no Wi-Fi, and your battery's running quite low.
Oh, yeah, because there was no power. I have to speak to...
It's still running.
Yeah.
Probably because you brought a power pack with you, and you've had it charging on that, on the journey
but
up there.
that's it. There's the start of a new day, so now that needs charging. So I've got power on the phone and the power bank. Oh, I'm going to need to speak to more about this.
You might be able to charge it off your laptop, but...
I think that's too much work. Yeah, I might try and sneak out of bed and head off towards the main building with like the supermarket and stuff. See if I can maybe pick up like a treat or something for breakfast, or bring something to her. So maybe like 8 o'clock or so.
Cool.
Like between
You
8
you
and
out
9.
of bed. Helen mumbles something as you get out. You going somewhere, honey?
Yeah, I was just gonna run to the supermarket, see if I can maybe get you something to breakfast in bed. That's what husbands do, isn't it?
You're lovely. See if they have croissants.
I'll see what I can find. I'll give her a little
Thank
kiss
you.
on the forehead and pull on a like a bathrobe type dealie. Pair of Crocs.
You're heading out the bedroom.
Yeah.
The curtains are blowing in the breeze.
I thought you closed these blooming windows last night. This new building, I don't know. Go over and try and close them again.
Yeah, you pull them closed. The cold breeze was blowing in, which has chilled the room somewhat, and the fire is thoroughly out.
Yeah.
But, in your warm dressing gown, it's all good. You're still warm from bed, but you don't fancy spending too long out with your clothes or out of the bed.
Yeah. As I get to the door, just take a nervous peek through the keyhole again. Just peek through.
You can see out into the daylight. Looks brighter than it was. Everything's a bit fish-eyed and looks a bit weird, but certainly no people staring back at you.
That's good.
Um,
I'm sure it was nothing. It was just imagination, and set off towards the
The
towards
door's
the
unlocked.
supermarket. Oh, but that was locked. Just check the lock with like the key, just see if it is locking and unlocking.
It does just fine. Make me a wits plus composure check, please.
Wits and composure. Wits and composure. 2.
You could swear there wasn't a flower in a vase on that table last night.
Is this outside or inside?
Inside. There's a vase, it fits the decor. There's a flower in it.
Oh, so the vase was there, but the flower wasn't.
You don't recognise the vase, but it fits the decor, so it could have been here somewhere. But there were no fresh flowers.
I need some breakfast. Hungry. There's just hunger, food. And it just straight onto the thing. And I'm just sort of keeping these things in my mind, just like, that the door wasn't working, the electric is out, just this whole list of problems that if I do run into Moira or even Chelsea, I'll just be like, I need to get this, tell people about this because it's not on.
Are you going to trudge around the road or across the grass?
Yeah, I'll trudge around the road.
You going to get dressed before you head out?
Well, yeah, I'll throw on like a pair of like lounge pants, a t-shirt, and then my bathrobe. Pull on a pair of these Crocs, and not like properly dressed, just like the sort of thing you'd wander around your house in.
Yeah. So it's quite chill in the morning, but you pull your robe a little closer and carry on. You trudge on around. The road's wet, but it's well maintained, so it hasn't flooded anywhere. And you make your way around the cold morning. You can see the mist and the trees swaying. You can hear sort of quiet. Do you have any points of survival?
I have 2 points of survival.
Make a wits plus survival, please.
Okay.
Don't die.
I'm going to try not to. 1.
It's quite quiet. You'd expect with woods this close you'd be able to hear like wood
Birds,
pigeons
things.
or something.
This place just gets weirder and weirder. God, I can't wait till we can get home.
You trip around to the building. It's uneventful. Everyone else, you presume, is probably still asleep. You are quite early.
As I'm going past the desk, is that if the desk in like the main building, if there's like a paper and pen, I just want to scribble a note of like doors. The door became unlocked over the night. There was no electrics and that sort of thing. Just
Yep. You find some stationery headed with a Polyon Park and its logo.
Yeah.
You can also find a cheap pen with the same thing. You notice that someone's uncovered part of the computer. You're sure it was covered last night?
cover it back over.
You make your notes.
Yeah.
The table's still laid out with the food from last night, the leftovers.
Give it a bit of a sniff. Is it all right still?
Yeah. It's finger food. Smells
Eat
good to you.
Eat a sausage roll.
Yeah, all good.
Then just head into the supermarket and look for some croissants and some jam.
There's some jam. There's no croissants. In fact, the fresh section doesn't seem stocked. There's no bread. There's only like 1 or 2 single pint bottles of milk.
Sorry,
anything.
there was only 2 bottles of milk.
Yeah, they're just single pint bottles of milk.
Yeah, I'll take one of them. I think
You take it.
get one of those before they all go. Maybe
Are you gonna
they've been raided beforehand. And if there isn't any croissants, I'll maybe see if there's like some crackers or something, some biscuits.
You find some crackers. There's some cheese in one of the fridges as well.
There's lots to do.
And yeah, you find stuff which should make breakfast. It's a little odd. There's plenty of cereal if you fancy any cereal. Supermarket seems quite quiet. Your footsteps echo down the aisles.
Let's go over to the till and just notice that there's someone's been at the booze already. Well, fair enough, to each their own. And just start trying to scan all the stuff through.
Nothing scans. Doesn't work. Power's off.
I'm starting to get really frustrated now. Go back and get get a pad of paper and then just scribble down like what I got, how many of them.
You go back to the entranceway. You're pretty sure the pad's where you left it? It could have moved a little. Nah, you're just being paranoid now. It's weird here.
The stairway upwards, is that like pretty close to the desk?
Yeah, it's pretty much behind the desk to the right.
Alright, I'll give up a shout. Moira, are you awake? Sorry to wake you up if you're not.
No reply.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave a note with some things that noticed last night, and the Tilzan. Oh, there's nobody there, is there? Why am I talking? Scribble all my stuff down. Run back in, grab
The
my
door
stuff.
through to the supermarket closes belatedly. You've been walked through it for a good couple of minutes, but it's only just closed.
Take the door and swing it, test it a bit.
You go up to it, opens automatically. You walk away from it, closes off.
Do that whole sort of like back up, go forward, back up.
Yeah, seems fine now.
Yeah, I need to find Moira as soon as possible. All of this stuff is just broken and terrible. All expenses paid. This just isn't adding up. Gather up all my stuff in a little paper bag or something, and start making my way back.
Okay, you make your way back. You have
I'll
yourself-
tell you what. As I'm going, I'll stop by at give like a knock on. Give a knock on Gil's door, I think. Let's
Okey
go rap on the door. Adrian, Adrian.
You guys hear this from downstairs. There's a knock on the door, and you can hear a voice.
Adrian.
I'll head towards the door.
Anyone? Hello. Morning.
Open the door. Like at first, I'll look through it and
I'm just waving.
Morning. You alright?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. It was a brilliant, really nice sleep, actually. Really comfy beds. There were some musty ones, but it's fine. It was one. You haven't seen Moira around or anybody, have you? The groundskeeper?
I've not really left the house yet, honestly. Not really seen anybody since last night.
Fair enough. There's just a few things. A lot came undone in the middle of the night. There was the power's out.
Yeah, we've
Bloody
got
tills at the supermarket aren't working.
We've got a couple of weird things going on too. Like I thought I locked the door, and here, I don't want to scare you or nothing, but have you seen any wolves?
I don't know if I've seen any wolves around. No.
There was one outside in the forest last night, just like watching.
No, the only thing I did see was that someone broke into the bottles of something, then finish up something. You know, maybe just hearing things.
Oh, Andre. That was Andre.
Who's that down there?
Oh, why is... I thought he was over by the...
Yeah, we got a little bit spooked last night with the wolf and the door, and somebody tried to get in, and yeah, we kind of got a bit paranoid.
Wait, someone tried to get in?
Andre seen it. There was like something like the door tried to get open, but it was locked, and it was a weird fucking night, man. It was like something of a horror film.
You notice his breath smells quite strongly of alcohol. He's got morning mouth.
He hasn't showered yet either, so he stinks, and he smells a bit of booze still, and he smells of smoke.
Looks like he slept in his clothes.
Yep.
He's definitely morning
There's like a sweat stain like in both armpits.
Oh dear. Well, maybe it's nothing, but I don't know. Some of the shadows of the trees looked a bit. I'm sure it was just trick of the light or something, but spooky stuff, right?
Didn't I see something weird about the trees too? Like I seen like hand, or was that?
That was probably just your imagination. You thought one of the trees could well have been a hand reaching out of the ground, but you can look back this morning and it's just a tree with a branching trunk.
Right.
There could have been someone stood in it, but it also might not be. It could have been the wolf.
Yeah, I'm not really much fond of the forest. There's too much fucking shadows.
I'll be glad when I can get back home to my little deal. Just back home. Home is where the heart is. Anyway, bundled my stuff together and reach out a hand. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Shake.
And have a shower. I start scampering away down towards my room.
As he's walking away, I was kind of like.
As I didn't get any kind of answer at all when I was shouting, I've already gotten up at this point, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
coming down the stairs, and I go, "What the fuck? Did you not hear me shouting there?
Oh, sorry, man. It was Jackson.
Who's Jack? What the hell did he want
He was just walking by. He just wanted a quick chat.
at this time of morning?"
He was like in a bathrobe, and he had like these fucking weird things on his feet.
Right, fuck it, I'm waiting to take a shower.
Right, you go to take a shower. The water's lukewarm, so if you just run the hot, you're all right.
Okay.
Right. Anyone like to do anything between now and 9:30-ish? The guys who have gone over to the building, I'll come to you in a sec, but does anyone else want to do anything before then? Otherwise, I'm going to fast forward to about 8:30.
I mean, I probably would have chatted to Helen about the things that I'd seen and heard, but I don't know whether she would have just been like, "Oh, you were just making things up." It's great.
Yeah, she dismisses them, makes a light joke of them. Is quite happy cooking over the wooden stove. She seems to have taken to it quite well, and cooks the bits and bobs you brought back. Doesn't seem to have bothered about there being a lack of bread, biscuits and cheese. It's all good. She even managed to make something quite tasty. In fact, you're quite surprised, but then at this point you probably shouldn't be. Her cooking's always been excellent, and she's actually got some more savoury biscuits with her, which combined with the cheese, it makes a really quite nice breakfast.
Awesome. Yeah, that's basically it.
Right, so 8:30. Don and Boris, you've headed on over to the visitor centre. It's a misty morning. Dew stains the grass, and the road's stained by water from the rain the night before. The air smells reasonably fresh, but there's a strange seaside-y type quality to it as it blows up off the loch. The occasional gust brings sort of fish docks smell with it. You're quite familiar with it. You've been to docks before, but generally you would have thought a loch would have smelled nicer.
Well, I don't know about you, Don, but don't lakes supposed to smell better?
Yeah, maybe the wind's in a bad direction.
Too.
Hmm.
So, boys just smokes on.
Yeah. You head on through and into the building, and by the time you get there, Moira's there, tidying away bits from last night. She's dressed this time in pants, jeans. No, sorry, not jeans, just trousers. They're quite loose, so they're quite open fitting at the bottom, maybe boot bottoms. She's wearing a white blouse, top couple of buttons down, which shows off a pleasant amount of boob. Her hair's tied back, still in its ringlets, and she seems quite busy about her work. Oh, morning. Sorry, you're a bit early for breakfast.
Good morning. We will wait. Is there coffee to wait?
Oh, yeah, I believe this one is the one I had, but I'm sure it won't mind. And she takes one of the cups that were from last night's buffet and pours out some coffee from. It looks as if it's a jug that's come straight off a coffee machine rather than a serving jug, but she pours you out a couple of mugs of coffee, and Don sits down with his. You got any milk? And she goes, yeah, and goes and gets one of the containers from last night. It's like a refrigerated metal jug, though, so it's probably still good. And pours milk into Don's coffee. Sugar, dear? And she grabs the sugar.
I will. Yes, sugar, please. Thank you.
She spoons sugar into both of you, and Don goes, well, I was going to come get some dinner, some breakfast, but if you're serving, I don't mind being served, eh? And she looks... he looks at her with a bit of a suggestive smile. She gets a little flustered by it, just very, very slightly, and continues her task of tidying things away with a nervous laugh.
Boris makes no comment, because Boris doesn't give a shit. Boris is here for a different reason, not for free holiday.
Anything
He's
you'd
quite
like
happy.
to do? Don didn't bring his crossbow with him, but he's still dressed for bear.
Hunting,
Yeah. And he's sat there with his coffee, and he seems to be making small talk with Moira. Let's have a look. How good is he? Let's find out.
That's not good.
Yeah. Oh. He seems to be being quite charming, actually. And Moira laughs, and it's not like a girlish titter as you may expect, but actually an actual laugh at something he's saying. You're not paying a lot of attention. She's brought the food out now. It's nothing exciting, but there's like some croissants, some toast, and some preserves. The preserves look as if they've been decanted from a jar into little pots, but everything's quite presentable. And as far as continental breakfasts go, it's quite nice. She does offer if you'd like any cooked food, but Don declines, and she turns to you.
No, that is quite all right. Thank you.
Brilliant. And she looks at her watch. Maybe
Did we and Dawn have any problems with electricity, or were we just fine?
You also did not have electricity. You still had your matches and your kerosene lights and things like that. So there's no electricity in your building, but it's been quite comfortable. I mean, it is supposed to be a wilderness-style retreat, and you've had everything you need, including a big roaring warm fire set up for you. So, you know, as long as you put your expectations at the right level, this is a really luxurious place. And the thing is, if the power was working as well, from what Don's been saying, you get the feeling that the power on may make things a bit too easy for him.
Yeah. I've just, Boy just mentions it to Moira, just sort of in passing. He's not really a complaint. Boyce is used to roughing it, so it's not a big deal.
Huh. Well, I am sorry about that. I'm sure the power will be on sometime in the next couple of weeks. We have asked for help, but, you know, the companies around here, it's actually local power because we're not on the grid, so the generator's in the basement. So somewhere along the line there's a fault and we haven't got anyone out to fix it yet. I'm really sorry. I hope everything's in order, though. We've done our best.
There's no problem. As long as the shower is working, everything is fine.
Oh,
and
good.
the food is also good, which is best.
God, I'm glad to hear you say that. Right, it's turned 9:30. How are you guys? Are you guys turning up?
Yep.
Right.
No, before I do, I'm going to run over to my place and see if, I've obviously taken a shower there, but I'm going to run back and expect that Chelsea's left my bag in my place. Change of clothes.
Your place, the door lies open, the fire's burnt down, and it's just a couple of embers, although the through draft seems to have kept it lit to a certain extent. There's no bag here, the back door's open as well, and the curtains are blowing out into the rain.
Oh, bloody hell, where the hell did she put that? Oh, God. She's probably still left it back in the main room. Alright, okay, well, I'll be grand. Moira's used to it.
Did you get a shower?
I got a shower, but it's still the clothes from last night.
Yeah, cool. Right, okay, so you make your way over with Gil, who joins you in the street. And you make your way over into the visitor centre. You find Moira there, who notices your unkempt appearance, but very politely makes nothing of it, and acts the perfect host, offering you hot coffee, breakfast things, in a very polite manner, quite pleasant. You do notice, given your interest in Moira, that she's paying a little more interest to Don this morning, who seems to be getting on with her rather well. Yeah, whether or not you want to make anything of that, that's up to you. Gil, do you like to do anything?
I'd like to look around from a bag and see if it's been left here.
As you're looking around, you don't notice anything much out of place from last night. And Moira goes, "Oh, Gil, dear, have you lost anything?"
Yeah, I can't find my bag.
Oh, didn't you leave with it last night? I'm sorry, I left early. Maybe it's in the bar. And she makes to go towards it.
I'll go with her.
You head into the bar. Everything's pretty much as you expected, as you left it last night, and there doesn't appear to be anything left in here. The chairs are a little bit in disarray, but you could have left them like that last night. You were pretty hammered. But there's no material, nothing, no bags or anything left in here. Oh, I'm sorry,
Everyone
dear.
left that.
Maybe Chelsea left them in one of the other chalets. Maybe you could ask the others. She may have taken it to the wrong place. And she seemed
It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll turn up.
Speaking of Chelsea, you haven't seen her, have you?
No, not since early last night.
No, that Don's son. What was his name?
Lee? No.
Yeah, Lee. That was it. He and Chelsea seemed to hit it off, and I haven't seen her
Maybe
since.
they went off somewhere together. Or...
Yeah. Well, let's hope not. She's not that.
Yeah.
You know. Let's get back to the others. Is there anything I can get you for breakfast, dear? I think I can do some hot food if you'd like.
I'll have like a sandwich or something. I'll be alright. Thank you, though.
Okay. Right. Is there anybody not here? Are you going to head over, Mr. Hyde?
Yeah, I'll, when time's ready, we'll get dressed.
Right, you've had a reasonably pleasant breakfast. Helen tells you that she's not really up for hiking, but we'll make sure that there's something nice for dinner. She'll head over to the visitor centre, get some food, stuff like that. That's if you don't mind.
I suppose maybe we should bond with some of these people that are here. You always tell me to make more friends.
Yeah, it'll do you good to get out and not have me do all the talking.
Yeah, I suppose so. You're right. Well, have a good day, and hope if you see if you see anybody, just maybe mention about the things. I'm sure.
Oh, I will, dear. Don't worry. I'm sure I can pass it on. But you'll see Morrow before me. You could mention them.
Yeah, I will do. I will. Okay.
You send my apologies. We've got 2 weeks to explore after all. And she sets back to tidying up the breakfast stuff.
And I'll wander away.
Right, you all rally around a delicious continental-style breakfast with your gracious host, and we shall leave it there, because it's 10:05.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Sounds good.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Sufficiently creepy.
Yeah, definitely. There's the creep
that
factor.
fucking eye door whole thing has always been a fucking fear of mine.
I admit,
Every
I
horror
didn't.
film with that is always.
I admit, I didn't know what was going on until after you said, "Then it moves away," and
Yeah.
oh no!
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So,
That's good fun.
hopefully things will continue in that vein.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to playing some more of this sometime.
Mm. Got
Um,
a
lot of good fun.
creepy vibe, I love it.
Yep. That was fun.
I'll have to make some notes to know where we left it. I do have rather a lot more story prepared, so we can do a bit more at some time.
Sweet,
Sweet.
awesome. Well, to people in the stream, thank you for joining off on this little one shot. I don't know exactly when we'll carry it on, but we'll sometime because this is fun and it's good to not DM for once in a while. So yeah, it'll be good night from us, and we'll probably be back on Monday for regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
Farewell,
Good
folks.
night.
Bye.